Crossover.
Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover. It just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Hey, the crossover is powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Connor Happer, you are in the studio.
That's right, as I usually am.
How are you?
Sometimes I'm not, though. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Are you an A's guy now?
See, you guys are annoying.
All right.
I own a lot of hats. Okay,
That's cool. Well, why do you like the A's hat? I'm cool with having hats. I like hats. It's just a hat.
I have been shamed.
That's fine. I just want to know why you chose it.
Connor owns a Rockies hat.
Because it's been a while since I owned this hat, since I wore this hat.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided, you know what? I have to stand up for myself, and I don't care if anyone is going to judge me or make jokes about me.
I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you. I just
no,
wonder
not
why.
you, but there are other people who do.
You think it's a good-looking hat?
I do. Yeah,
I agree.
I think it's a great hat. I think the A's have some of the best hats and jerseys in the MLB.
I agree. They should go back to Oakland.
I agree with that. I have a Matt Chapman green Oakland Athletics jersey.
Wow.
It is
Kelly
awesome.
green?
Yeah.
Did you get it?
No. Wait,
China?
there's two different greens, right? There's the lighter green and this is the darker green.
Oh, the darker green, like that.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Like this green. It is sick. I love Matt Chapman too. He's one of my favorite baseball players.
Nice.
He's a very random.
What an interesting guy to like. Yeah.
Yeah. Where he's just like good platinum glove, 260 hitter, hit over 20 bombs a year, just dependable.
Okay.
Not an Arenado or a Hall of Famer or anything like that, but just
Yeah.
you're just your mother's favorite baseball player, Matt Chapman.
I don't know who my mom's favorite baseball player is. Probably Jeter.
My mom's favorite baseball player is Anthony Rizzo.
Who's your mom's favorite baseball player, Josh?
I was just trying to think of that. I was wow.
Is it
everybody's mom?
Is it perchance he who shall not be named?
I guarantee it is someone who is no longer playing baseball.
That's definitely
My mom did love Johnny Damon, but
moms love Johnny Damon.
She was all in the Johnny Damon.
Nice.
Area.
Has she seen him recently?
He looks awful.
Pretty questionable.
Pretty
questionable.
I mean, his bottom half is fine, but all the weight went to the face.
Yeah. And he
That's
probably
what cruise life will do to you.
He probably should have a beard.
I thought you were about to say he should probably have a beer. I'm like, maybe less of those.
There's
actually
just
would help him out.
some guys who should just have a beard. Some guys.
Yeah, I'm definitely not talking to one of them right now.
There are some guys that should just have a beard, and if they don't have a beard, they look stupid.
I think I'm developing into one of those guys. I think I just objectively look better with a beard than no beard.
There you go.
But I think
maybe you're a beard guy.
Well, I think I've just added.
You could never play for the Yankees. Maybe you could have a stash.
I hate that they stopped doing that. I kind of loved it was a weird, stupid rule. You know me. I like weird, stupid things we do in sports.
Yeah.
And that was just a weird, dumb, hoity-toity thing they did, and I kind of dug it.
So what is it now? You can have a well-kept beer?
I think you're fine. I think you're A-okay.
I don't think no. It's not like free reign. There's no Brandon Marshes that are going to be on the Yankees.
Jason Worth isn't going to be picked up by the Bronx anytime soon?
No, I don't think so.
Well-groomed beards.
Yeah, I believe it has to be
like that is
well-kept.
super subjective.
Actually, you kind of know it when you see it.
Yeah.
There's a couple guys
So you would not be able to play in the Yankees right now?
No, I think I would. I believe.
I don't know. Man.
I believe that my beard is well
the sparks that are flying on the under part of your beard.
Yeah, but that's not because it's unkempt. That's not because it's not tight.
You just have to trim it a little bit. I don't know. We got to bring you to Steinbrenner.
Yeah, I'd keep it tight. I mean, they have I'm sure they got a barber back there at the clubhouse, trim you up every day.
I had a buddy who he went on vacation to Miami in 2013. And his father had one of his childhood friends who was the barber for the Miami Heat during that time. So my buddy got his hair cut by the guy who was cutting LeBron James's hair.
That's cool. Did he have a good cut?
He literally goes, yeah, he just came to our hotel, gave us haircuts. It was like, yeah, I just got back from the locker room. and he was using the trimmers he had used on 3 future Hall of Famers.
Wow.
You
on my
would
buddy's
have to
scalp.
You would have to staff a barber if you're the Yankees and you have that rule in place,
Oh,
right?
oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel like the Yankees have had a barber staffed all the way back to Babe Ruth.
Yeah, I wonder what the payroll is like. Do you just keep them on retainer so you could just call them anytime and say, "Hey, come in," or what's the contract look like for the barbers for these teams? I'm interested because like, didn't Nebraska put out a video recently where they had dudes come in and get fresh cuts, and stuff like that? I don't know.
Probably.
So I wonder if it's like a per time fee or if it's like, hey, we got to pay you all year round, but only a certain amount just so we can have like access to you all the time. Because you never know. You never know when you might need the barber.
Have you ever watched the Steve Harvey inspirational speeches that he gives like in between Family Feud? Oh my God. There's no way.
I watch Family Feud every night.
Okay, so look up.
Dude, you got to teach me some stuff about Family Feud.
Look up.
Because I got a problem on my hands.
Steve Harvey sleep. Just look that up first, Josh. Okay, Steve Harvey sleep. Are you not aware of this?
I might have seen Steve Harvey do some stuff.
Steve Harvey.
Why do you mention Steve Harvey?
Well,
where did this come
Rich
from?
people don't sleep 8 hours.
Yes, that's
guys. I don't listen to guys like that.
He also so
I'm rich because of the way I do everything, not because of
now,
luck or
now
talent.
Don't listen to
look
people
up
like that.
Steve Harvey barber. Okay, this is why this is my thing.
Steve Harvey is bald, famously.
So Steve Harvey, like in between Family Feud, will just be standing around and they'll be waiting to like keep recording the show. And then he'll just be like, he'll take his opportunity to be like, I'm going to be a pastor right now. I'm going to tell people how to fix their lives.
Now, rule.
And yes, or Ray Lewis. And he just goes up there and he just tells people how to live. And one of his things was he had a barber. He's like, I had a barber and he was my personal barber. I gave him $50 for a haircut. Now he's worked his way up and he's making $3 million a year. Guess what he's doing? Cutting hair. The way he says it is way super over the top, super ridiculous.
Is that because Steve Harvey pays him more?
Yeah, the barber didn't pull himself up by his bootstraps.
No.
The barber has a rich and famous client.
Yes, essentially. And he kept Steve Harvey around. But Steve Harvey cut
There's
all
no
his
secret.
hair
It's
off.
not because the barber sleeps less than everybody else.
But
It's
that's what
because
Steve
the
Harvey is trying to tell you.
That's not true, Steve.
That's what he's trying to tell you.
It's
He goes,
because all of a sudden the barber one day knew Steve Harvey, and then randomly he started to know other famous people who would pay him money.
what Steve Harvey is trying to tell you, that all you got to do is cut hair and you could be a millionaire. You just got to keep going. You just got to keep doing your thing.
That is correct. You just have to keep going. That is accurate.
James Thomas is Steve Harvey's barber. He has written a book. He has a line of hair care products.
There you go. He's probably on TikTok.
He has his own system.
Why was that
I
an
guess.
assumption?
He probably is. He's, a rich barber.
He has a segment on the Steve Harvey radio show called Ask James, where he provides hair care advice.
Whoa, the Steve Harvey radio show.
Yeah, it's a nationally syndicated
Yeah,
morning show.
it's from Chicago.
So I
It's from Chicago.
got a Steve Harvey thing.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you like people who
That is
tell
great.
you what to do. You don't like Dave Ramsey.
I just think
You
there's a
don't
lot
like
of
Steve Harvey.
No, I just think there's a lot of ways to skin a cat.
Sure,
like
sure.
it doesn't have to be one thing.
I couldn't agree more.
So I got a Steve Harvey thing. So tonight I am hosting Family Feud, a game of Family Feud, and I had to watch a couple episodes last night to remember how the game works. So
Give me Josh. Give me Connor.
any pointers on some things that I should
Pregnant pauses.
Okay.
Pregnant pauses are good.
There's no way around it. If someone says something stupid,
Yes.
you have to acknowledge the stupid thing they said. Now, you don't have to say,
I can do that.
that's a stupid answer. You're an idiot.
That sounds
But,
like it's right up my alley.
yeah,
I love doing that. I love public shaming.
you do have to sit in it for a little bit.
That's awesome. Okay. That's great advice. That's right up my alley. I am excited to make fun of some people. That's good.
Pregnant pauses are big. A lot of whats or reallys are like, weird kind of faces,
Mm-hmm.
is really important. That's really it. I just say this, just don't be afraid to
Good
make
advice.
fun of people.
Good advice. Good advice.
You know what? People like to be made fun of.
People like to be made fun of.
I think there are,
Ooh,
I think
interesting.
other people like it when when you make fun of people.
Yeah.
but I do think like you and I are I feel like we get along because you make fun of me and I enjoy it. And I think it's fun to joke around. I think you have to draw the line. Like, if you don't know the guy, you can't hammer it like a dude or a girl and be like, hey, like there's a line that you have to cross. But like Family Feud is just all about making the jokes and making fun of people.
All right. That's what we're going to do.
Here's why. This is why I'm typing right now. I'm sorry. I'm being a little rude, but it's because you sparked a thought. You're talking about Family Feud and you're going to host Family Feud.
Yes.
I have a friend and she has a boyfriend and she has a brother. Okay. And the boyfriend and the brother are both sports fanatics. Okay. They're big sports fans and they want to find out who knows more about sports, the boyfriend or the brother. So I have been tasked.
Dangerous game.
I have been tasked to come up with a game show. Okay. To come up with a trivia thing, to write trivia questions. And so I'm doing it Jeopardy style. This is like a little, like fun little thing I'm doing. Okay. I need 5 topics. I have 4 topics.
Topic alert.
Okay. Here are my 4 topics that I've come up with.
Scandals in sports.
Small guards.
Whoa.
Okay. So the idea, Kemba Walker, Muggsy Bogues, but then you could do like small football guards as well too. Okay. Second one, nicknames. Real easy.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Third one, tragedy.
Oh.
Whoa.
All right.
Just
profiteering off of negativity.
Who is Len Bias?
Sports tragedies. Think of OJ. Okay. Just think of,
Is that tragic?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, tragic for somebody else.
Poll question. Is OJ tragic?
Not necessarily that tragic for OJ.
Okay. I follow your line of questioning now.
Yes.
Fourth,
It was a little jarring at first.
Yeah.
failed Chicago prospects.
Okay.
Just guys who you thought were gonna be it, and then just weren't.
Yep.
Junior Lake. Okay.
I did like Junior Lake.
Yohan Moncada.
He turned out all right.
Nah, not all that well.
Does Jeff Smarja count?
Jeff Samardzija?
Yeah.
He made the All-Star team. He was not a failed.
He was an all-star?
He was an All-Star.
Oh, yeah, he was good.
Oh, yeah, he
Wow.
was a very good player.
I remember him being very mid.
Albert Almora Jr., if you will.
What
Okay.
about everybody's favorite Addison Russell?
Yeah,
Oh.
not everybody's favorite. Okay. But a great answer would have been Shea McClellan. Do you remember Shea McClellan?
I do remember
Boise
Shea
State
McClellan.
linebacker.
Yeah.
That's one hell of a poll.
Okay.
You know, that's just failed Chicago prospects.
All right.
All right. Marcus Teague would be another one too.
Exciting.
I don't have a 5th topic. Would you like to create a 5th topic?
Well, what if you just went like, I mean, I don't know how.
I want to go niche. I feel like
You want to go niche?
Oh, I want to go.
Because I was going to
niche.
go broad. I was just going to go like world champions or something like that.
No,
you
no.
know?
I was thinking like bald or blue eye bombers.
I don't know what color any athlete's eyes
Can you?
are.
Wouldn't that be a good topic? Like guys who have blue eyes who hit a lot of home runs. I'm kind of just looking at you right now.
I don't think that
and
would be a good topic. I don't know anybody.
Chris Bryant is the only one I can think of.
He had blue eyes, or has blue eyes.
Is Mark Aguirre?
He's
have
still
blue
with
eyes?
us. Mark Aguirre or
Mark McGuire.
Mark McGuire.
Maguire.
Probably.
Mark
He's a
Aguirre,
ginger.
basketball player, by the way.
Yes. Mark
Maguire.
Mark McGuire.
Might have blue eyes. Why are you hosting Family Feud tonight? Were you just asked?
Yeah, I was asked a couple weeks ago, and it's tonight.
Where's it at?
Creighton University.
Is there a way to view this? Like, can I watch you
I
be
don't
the
know.
host of Family Feud?
I don't know. Maybe.
What if you do? Have you ever thought of being a game show host?
No, I don't know how to get into that.
Neither
world.
do I.
Yeah.
People in the chat are concerned about your innuendo game, Connor.
Yeah, not nearly horny enough.
Okay.
What?
To be like some of the game
Yeah,
show hosts,
yeah.
the old school game show hosts that we think about. When I think of the gold standard for I've actually watched a lot of stuff on Regis. Regis was awesome on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He didn't really know what was going on from the stories that I've always heard about Regis, but there was the famous one where the guy won the million. He was about to win the $1 million, and he still had a lifeline left, but he didn't actually need it. And he called his dad. And he
that was
said,
dope. That
"Hey,
was dope.
Dad, I'm going to win $1 million or something like that."
Got to the million.
And so
hadn't used a
I saw this
lifeline
thing
yet.
where the producer jumped into his ear, and he was like,
Yeah.
"You have to drop this line, whatever it was, you are a million, whatever it was. And Regis saw it and he caught it right away and went for it. Yeah.
I think Jeff Probst of Survivor.
See, I've never seen that show.
Tabatoa wins immunity. Cochran, you have won an immunity idol. You are going to tribal council tonight where you will not be voted off of the island, and you will have a 1 in 9 shot of winning $1 million. The rest of you, back to camp.
What if you did Mike says Big East basketball?
I don't think they would know that. Big East basketball would be sick, though. Maybe if I did Chicago high school basketball, I could definitely do that.
So these are Chicago guys that we're dealing with?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
You knew it like a Dwayne Wade, Isaiah Thomas, Jabari Parker, Derrick Rose, Tony Allen.
Giving away all the answers.
They're not listening to the show.
You're giving away all the answers.
But I want weird, I came up with a great question. Okay, all right, here for nicknames. This is an easy one for you, but I don't think it would be for them. Okay. This could either be nicknames or small guards. The first question I thought of is, this guy almost had a cardiac arrest winning a national title for UConn and making 5 All-Star games with the Charlotte Hornets.
Well, don't say that he almost had a cardiac arrest.
But it's nicknames.
I understand what you're trying to get them to say.
Yes.
Cardiac Kemba, but
there you go.
But
that's
not accurate. He did not almost die on the court.
That's a good question. I got the nickname out there. And I told you who we played for. And you're like, cardiac Kemba Walker. No one actually thought that he almost, had a heart attack on the court.
Well, it sounded like
that is actually a great question for the tragedies category.
Yeah, do the DeMar Hamlin.
I was about to say.
He's alive though, not a tragedy. Thanks to the help of many.
I mean,
it still
was a tragedy.
I guess so. Yeah. It was.
I mean, the guy died on the field.
But he came back.
Still tragic.
If you die and come back, is it a tragedy?
Good poll question.
I think a lot of fantasy football owners would say that was a tragedy.
Only because they lost that game.
I know, but it was like the championship game.
Yeah.
It was massive. There was a lot of not great stories, because what happened to cause that story was a terrible thing, but you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of people whose fantasy football outcome was highly affected by that.
Who was I just saw something about this guy recently, because maybe he left his job or something or got a new job. The reporter that nobody knew that night but was reporting nonstop outside of the hospital.
Yes.
Who is Coley Harvey.
Yes.
I couldn't stop looking at Coley Harvey for a week straight.
He did a great job.
He did a great job.
He was just out there.
And now I have never heard of him since.
I was at a bowling alley when that all happened.
Look at that.
I know. I was drinking pitchers, bowling 72s. And DeMar Hamlin I had a pitcher in front of me, and I was watching the game, and it wasn't my turn to bowl yet, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh,
he's dead.
What's going on? No,
guy's laying on the field.
Say that. I didn't say that.
This is serious.
You said that.
I better go bowl. That was you. Watch this bowl.
Yeah. We have prayers for DeMar Hamlin. We hope that DeMar Hamlin will make a speedy recovery. Now watch this bowl.
Now watch this bowl. Tyler writes in on the text line.
Hi, Tyler.
I love DeMar Hamlin for the reason of fantasy football. I would have lost had he not died. Thanks to him, I was the league champ.
Yeah, you ever think about the flip side of that coin, man? A lot of people have happy stories about winning their fantasy football leagues.
You read that like a PSA. Thanks, DeMar.
Thank you, DeMar.
Thanks, DeMar. I got $500 from my fantasy football league that helped pay off my rent this month. Thanks, DeMar.
A great success story. Had DeMar Hamlin not died, I'd be out on the street. I'd have no money and nothing to my name. Now I have this trophy and $500.
And I put it in Bitcoin, and now I'm a millionaire.
There you go.
Thanks, DeMar.
What a great story.
What an incredible story that we just made up.
Were you old enough to drink? Tragic, does it?
Were you old enough to drink when Hamlin got hurt, Matt? Yes, I was. Stop it, guys.
Okay.
When did DeMar Hamlin get hurt? 22?
Yeah.
It's 3 years ago.
No, 23.
23? Wow.
Wait. Last year he played. The year before he didn't. So it was 22. I don't know.
January 2nd, 2023.
There you go. 2023.
Oh, I was. Yeah. No, I wasn't.
Sam just sent in
I was
the
drinking.
meme of the. It says bowling during the DeMar Hamlin game, and it's the guy who famously bowled a 300 on 9/11. Have you ever seen this guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Platcat in the chat. I needed 35 points from Burrow and Higgins and politely took an L thinking a man died. Seeing him take a fake punt to end the season the next year still grinds my gears.
Can you believe this guy?
The gall on him to die and then to come back. God,
You would have got those 35 points from
you would. Oh my God,
Yeah.
Placard. Yeah, I mean that was in the bag.
You would have got those 35 points.
Wasn't Higgins the one who caused the?
He was the one who ran into
the
him, yeah.
arrhythmic episode.
Yes. I remember thinking after that's crazy that there's like just basically a secret button on your body that if you touch it, you die.
You think it's a secret button?
I mean, isn't that crazy?
I mean, that's everything.
Yeah, but like obviously, if you get ran over by a truck, then you're dead.
If
But
I
like,
hit you on the temple really, really hard, you know, you can get hit in the temple really hard and everything could go lights out and you're done. You know, there's multiple. I mean, your neck.
okay, maybe you have more than one secret button.
Your neck, your jugular. Like if you, let's say I'm just.
But that's a hit that we've seen so many times, right? The guy, you know, he just,
There's nothing spectacular about the way DeMar Hamlin got hit.
right?
Yeah,
You wouldn't think that was it.
let's just say
That was like when Dale died. Dale hit the wall, and we're like,
He'll
damn
pop
it.
out of there. I've seen worse.
Yeah,
Pretty bad, but I've seen worse.
I'm on this kick of NASCAR podcasts recently.
Whoa. All right.
I'm watching Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's got a podcast. Kevin Harvick has a podcast.
Are NASCAR drivers good podcasters?
Yes, it's some of the best podcasting material that I've seen.
I bet they got some good stories.
Kevin Harvick was on with Dale Earnhardt Jr. talking about Dale's dad and the history that they had and everything like that. I just put it just kind of was one of those things where I was watching a YouTube video and then I just went to that
Okay.
and then I couldn't turn it off. And then Kyle Busch went on a Kevin Harvick podcast and I was like,
Kevin Harvick has a podcast.
Kevin Harvick has an awesome podcast.
I gotta see this.
Kevin Harvick, his podcast, he's actually ruthless. He's kind of like, yeah, you sucked during that time.
Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour, presented by NASCAR on Fox. Oh, come on. You got to go out on your own, Kevin.
Harvick.
Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour.
It's awesome. It's a great pod. You should listen to it.
What do we think he is talking about?
He's talking about the
It's got a
cars.
pop up recently viewed podcast, Touchdowns and Tangents. Hey, it's Kenneth Berry, Touchdowns and Tangents. Let's see. Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour, full episodes.
Yeah, they're great. My YouTube algorithm is full of people playing slots, Kevin Harvick's podcast, Matt Rule press conferences, and some Maury Torrey highlights.
He's put out 2 in the last
Week?
2
Yeah, he's cooking one right now.
Yeah.
There's one that comes out in a couple days. There's one that came out 2 hours ago.
What's the one that comes out in a couple days?
Jimmy Johnson opens up with Kevin Harvick on NASCAR Glory.
He's going to open up.
Kevin Harvick, Caitlin Vincey, and Mamba Smith break down the NASCAR weekend at Richmond, where Austin Dillon scored a crucial win just 1 year after his controversial finish at the same track.
Oh yeah, that's a click.
The crew discusses what the victory means for Dillon and RCR and how it shakes up the playoff picture. Then they look ahead to the regular season finale at Daytona, with Kevin explaining why it's always the most stressful week of the year for teams fighting on the playoff bubble.
I'm looking at
Why did you read that so?
138,000 views. Legends unite. Kevin Harvick and Dale Earnhardt Jr. reveal their vision for NASCAR's future. Whoa.
Would you call Jim Harbaugh a failed Chicago prospect?
No, he was a good NFL
I
quarterback.
was about to say, but he made the Pro Bowl for the Colts, not for the Bears. Better Colt than Bear.
I think there's better Bear quarterback options.
But they're too easy.
Maybe you can make the answer confusing. You know what I mean? The question, as you would refer to it as the answer.
Sure. There's a lot of failed Chicago prospects that I can. Small guards I'm excited for. I love small guards. That's my favorite topic that I have. We need to come up with a fifth topic, though.
Why don't you do big guards? You know how some of the topics are like related to each other?
I want
The
something,
categories are related to each other?
I want something like, I want something creative, like Let It Snow or Who Reads or,
Potent potables.
Yes, that's what I want. I know I'm just quoting everything from SNL, but I mean, it's probably the only Jeopardy I've really watched.
Athletes who denote food,
Who denote food?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
like Vin Baker.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I just put a random state. I do like
So
Oklahoma.
you do like a pun category.
Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Just Oklahoma State.
When you think about Oklahoma State, what do you think of?
I think of Chuba Hubbard. And I think of Justin Blackman.
Whoa. Wow, those are some guys.
A lot of people might have.
And I think
Barry
of
Sanders.
Mike Gundy, and I'm a man. I think of Ollie Gordon and Jeff Gundy saying, well, he only had 4 beers, and I did that 1,000 times.
That's right. He did say that.
He literally goes, if you look at his blood record and, you do the calculations, he only had 5 beers. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times I've done that before.
We all drive home a little drunk.
Yeah,
right?
come on.
That guy did say that.
Wild quote.
I'm pretty convinced that over the last couple of years that he's just been like blatantly attempting to get fired, and you can't do it.
They won't do
You
it.
can't do
Can't do it.
They can lose.
Maybe
He can
that's-
say insane stuff, but he does not get fired.
Maybe that is the final question. Who clearly wants to get fired but won't at Oklahoma State?
Seems a little subjective.
Who's Mike Gundy?
This former cowpoke is a national radio show host, despite being brought up on credit card fraud
we need
charges.
to get away.
Doug Gottlieb.
We need to
There
get
we
away to get
go.
Doug Gottlieb in this Jeopardy.
Hi, I'm Doug Gottlieb.
Maybe he just. You think does Doug Gottlieb do cameo? Maybe he does the double Jeopardy.
Oh, I bet he's absolutely does
wait.
cameo.
Whoa! Wait a second. Is Doug Gottlieb on cameo?
Sure is. $150.
Really?
Yeah.
How much money do I want to put into this? $150 for Doug Gottlieb, by the way, that's way too much.
Whether it's a milestone birthday, an anniversary, or a long-awaited reunion, make it unforgettable with a one-of-a-kind
Doug
cameo video
Gottlieb?
from Doug Gottlieb.
Explain to me how Doug Gottlieb would make your wedding anniversary unforgettable. If your wife, Josh, your wife gives you, hey, honey, happy anniversary. Here's the head coach of University of Wisconsin Green Bay.
He joined Cameo September 5th, 2019. His bio reads as follows. I'm the only D1 coach in America with a national radio show, ... So I guess that makes me kind of different.
People forget that.
That sounds like a Hinge profile. That sounds like Doug Gottlieb's going dating.
People forget that.
Do you remember
21
where?
five-star
Time to go to
reviews.
Ken Palm. Where was
Is it Green Bay?
Green
It's
Bay
Wisconsin Green Bay.
last
Do you remember?
year?
God, Gottlieb had a great quote.
332. They went 4-28.
I
They
don't-
lost 21 games in a row.
They didn't fire him.
Dear
How many?
Lord.
wait, 332. How many teams are there?
I can tell you the answer to that. I think there's over 360 now. 364.
So he has one of the worst teams in America.
That's
So-
right, but he's on Cameo.
So Platcat was right, by the way. He lost to a D2 team. LOL. Not only did
Correct.
Not only did he lose to a D2 team, he called, "We don't gain anything by playing
Michigan
nobody
Tech
you."
was the name of that team. Michigan Tech.
What did they
They
say?
did not have Connor Stallions.
What do you say? You never want to play a state that isn't a state, or you do want to play states that are states, and you want to play techs that are states.
What about Boise State?
That's not a state.
Well, that's what I'm. Isn't
Yeah.
that what he's saying?
So you do want to play Boise State.
That's what he's saying, but I don't think that's correct. I don't think
I don't
he
think-
wants to play
But
anybody.
I think you want to play McNeese State or Nichols State. One of those is no longer a state. I think McNeese is just McNeese, right?
Yeah, McNeese just.
But like
turned to
Murray
McNeese.
State. No offense to Ryan Miller.
Murray is a city
Yeah,
in Kentucky. Tiny baby city.
but you don't want to play Michigan State.
No,
You don't want to play Oklahoma State.
you don't. Once again, if you're Doug Gottlieb, you don't want to play anybody. Wonder what their non-con looks like this year.
Ooh, yeah.
It's probably a bunch of D2 teams.
a lot of bye games.
A lot of nobody use.
I don't think they have much buy games.
How did we
They
get
don't-
to?
They don't have much to offer in terms of the money.
We started with Steve Harvey, and we're ending.
They're getting paid.
Oh, yes.
We started at Steve Harvey, and we're ending at Doug Gottlieb. Welcome to the crossover. I need a fifth topic.
Have they not released their schedule yet?
No, Omaha hasn't either. I'd like both schools to go on and do that now.
Yeah, I guess they don't. Wow. Yikes. Well, good luck to Doug Gottlieb. He's 4-28 so far.
That's 4 more wins than I have as a college basketball coach.
He's off to a good start.
I think I'm going to remove nicknames. Too mundane, too basic. Small guards tragedy. Failed Chicago prospects. I need 7 more topics.
Oh, wow. Now you're going back.
We double jeopardy.
Okay.
You don't think the 3 of you are going to get tired of this and stop at 1?
I'm not doing this. I'm just creating this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you are hosting the show.
Am I?
You are administering the questions.
Yeah,
Are you
someone
not?
has
I
to.
hope I am. I feel like it would be inappropriate if I wasn't.
Me too. So you probably will say, all right, there's a half hour. I mean, there's a reason why there's a 24-minute time run limit on Jeopardy. Gotta go.
You ready?
go,
I
go,
got
go,
a good
go,
one.
go, go.
I got a good one. Oklahoma or Omaha?
Okay. Give me some topics.
Yeah, what's the sample question there?
This word is commonly used. One of these cities is was commonly used by a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Omaha.
Okay, so Oklahoma's not a city.
Shoot.
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City is a city.
Oklahoma City or Omaha.
Okay. All right. So that whittles it
This
down.
is going to be really
to
bad.
only potentially 2 answers, which feels like maybe an easy category. But maybe you need a layup category.
This quarterback, name the quarterback that used one of these cities often in his Hall of Fame career.
So the
answer's paid in man.
potential responses are Omaha or Oklahoma.
No, name the quarterback.
Oh, name the quarterback
that used one of these cities.
Gotcha.
In his Hall of Fame career. Peyton Manning.
Gotcha.
200 questions.
Gotcha.
This is going to be brutal. Maybe when I finish this all, we can play it on the crossover.
I would love to see the result of this. Yes.
We could play one. We don't have to play the full game, but we could play like one of them.
I would love to see the results of this. Indeed. Indeed.
Or maybe I'll just make one of these on my own for the crossover.
You could do that. Like Mike Schaefer's card games. You could do that.
We can do that. Mike Schaefer will be on tomorrow.
Mike Schaefer.
Schaefer and McMaster.
Wow. What a show.
I have no idea how that's going to go.
I'm sure it'll go well. Schaefer's great.
No, Schaefer's great, and it'll go very well. But I just don't know the dynamic. But the dynamic will be interesting.
Okay.
Because Mike Schaefer and I are friends. And Schaefer and I have hung out, talked together, and like friends. But we've never been around each other for 4 hours. So I think that will be interesting.
I'm excited to find out. Can't wait.
We can play Mick Trivia.
There you go. Schaefer, ask him about the card game.
Oh yeah.
No, we're gonna talk about actual sports.
It's a sports game. Just ask him about deck of cards. He's probably got a couple questions locked in there for you.
You know what? That's a good segment idea because see, now I'm back on it. We're gonna do that tomorrow.
All right. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy making this Jeopardy game. I'm excited to see the results.
I'm reading Pick 6 previews and playing Skyrim today.
All right. Awesome. That's Matt's day, folks. And that's the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. It is Tuesday. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Odson with you. Josh got the sunglasses on top of the head.
Oh, yeah. I was going to take that off when I got in the studio.
You're looking good, Josh. I like your shirt.
Thank you.
I don't know. Oh, it's Jurassic Park.
It's loud, yeah.
It is loud.
Very loud. Hopefully the mics don't pick up my shirt.
You can just hear faintly in the background. That'd be great. It would sound like Twister. Welcome, everybody. Today, on a Tuesday, we will have not one, not two, but three guests. Allan Bell will join us at 11:30. We'll talk about some NFL teams there. We'll ask him about his food takes and things of that nature. We will talk with Ryan Burns of the Minnesota 24/7 site, talk about the Gophers.
Burnsy. At
1. And I believe this will conclude our summer school series.
Yeah, nobody else important.
Yeah, I mean, we're close enough where I think we got 2 opponents left, and we'll probably just punt. But good job.
We got a little senioritis towards the end there.
No, what I mean, what's the really? We're 9 days out from the first game, and people are kind of starting to focus on Cincinnati a little bit, and we're just going to jump in here next week and talk about Penn State or Iowa. I suppose we could, but it's all right. Yeah, it's okay. So Ryan will join us coming up at 1, and Creighton Volleyball coach Brian Rosen will join us at 12:30.
The new guy.
My hero.
Whoa.
The man who saved my car.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I guess he didn't get there early enough to save it, but he at least saw it happen. So that was cool. That was nice. So we'll talk to Coach Rosen. They
Good Samaritan.
have Good Samaritan Brian Rosen. If you haven't heard, they are a part of the AVCA First Serve Showcase, where they'll be taking on defending national champion Penn State. Creighton, the last time they played in volleyball, they also played Penn State. It ended their season.
They're consistent.
Last year. Things have changed since then. So I think Coach has probably been asked a lot about, what is it like and does it feel new and all those things? And I don't know, maybe we'll touch on a little bit of that, but I want to talk about volleyball. I want to talk about sports.
X's and O's.
And pineapple on pizza.
Pineapple.
So yeah, we'll get to that as well. So Coach will join us at 12:30 today. That's the lineup, powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. We want to hear from you all today. 402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Call or text that number. Tweet at Happer Show at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Email Connor or Josh O at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. And we say good morning to the YouTube streamers today, where Black Cat's in there and he says, let's just call Scott Wolf again.
We could.
I think he'd like to talk to us.
Let him cook.
Maybe he has a take on Nebraska wearing all black uniforms for the USC-Nebraska game.
That was our in to get him back on, wasn't it?
It's probably, my guess would be, based off of his other takes, that he's probably not a fan of it.
Right.
So,
I don't know why people just don't wear their regular uniforms.
Maybe
it's the uniforms people fell in love
maybe
with.
Maybe we just call him like off air at random times throughout the year and just get like a 2-minute take.
Can we get a quote?
We'll tape it and we'll put it on the air. It's like, here's Scott Wolf's take of the day. What's Scott mad about? And, there's probably like radio alliteration that could be in there. Scott is serious, or Wolf's whatever it might be.
Wondering about Wolf.
Wondering
with Wolf.
Exactly. What's he mad about today? I have no idea. Oh, actually, it appears as if Black Cat already asked him about black uniforms for the USC game 4 days ago, and he responded and said, the players will love them.
He hates it.
Indeed. He definitely does. We'll also have MLB reaction, overreaction today. Is noted baseball hater Rob Manfred going to stick a fork in baseball finally once and for all and ruin the entire sport? Find out during MLB Reaction Overreaction.
Kill what I love.
Coming up a little bit later on in the show. Elsewhere today, we will jump. Oh, I got to send you this audio, Josh. I have some audio that we need for. I didn't do the video. I don't know why. I didn't have time to do all the video last night, so I just got on. We're gonna go old school. We're gonna go audio. Some Terry Braden and some John Butler from yesterday. Another way has emerged in which we could break down the schedule, which is exciting. Auburn claims more national championships. More. Congratulations to them. I saw some college baseball news today.
Yeah.
And
reseed.
Of course, we have to pay tribute. 5 years ago today, there was a deep drive to left by Castellanos, and it's going to make it a 4-0 ball game.
I don't know if I'm going to ever put this headset
I don't know
on.
if I'm going to put on that headset again.
He will for the CW when they do their ACC football slate.
Random college football games, which
on the CW.
We now have a resolution to that, an ending to that story. So that's the setup for the show today. We are pleased that you are with us. Charles writes in,
Charles.
Can we call Sipple while he's driving around so we can hear his seatbelt alarm?
He does do that.
Sipple seatbelt alarm. There's your automatic alliteration right there. All right, we'll be back. We're off and running on a Tuesday. It's the Connor Happer Show right here on 1620 The Zone. All right, welcome back. Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. As always, we'd love to hear from our many, many fine listeners of the show. We want to know what you guys are thinking about. The pulse of the public, Josh. That's why we like to give mall and airport updates frequently on this show.
That's where the people are.
That is what you want to know about. So sometimes you just go to the phones and you just ask, what's going on in your head? And that's where we bring in Nebrasketball Mike today. Mike, good to hear from you. What's going on?
Good to be back on. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Fantastic.
Okay, first of all, to Husker Nation, to everybody headed down to Kansas City, stay calm, relax. We haven't done anything yet. Okay? We have an opportunity to open everybody's eyes. But we have to be responsible as fans to realize that the last 5-10 years have not been very nice to us.
It's true.
So please do not go down there thinking we're going to win 50-0. They have an experienced quarterback who knows what he's doing, and we have a quarterback who thinks he knows what he's doing. We have coaching who thinks they're getting better, but they have to do it. My question to you is this. Who's the leader on defense?
Who is the leader on defense?
Yes.
Let's go with either Riley Van Poppel or Sierra Wright. How's that?
Okay.
Well, you could throw in some Deshaun Singleton, some Malcolm Hartzog. I'm sure those. I mean, we're talking single digit number guys on defense.
Okay. Any thoughts on Elijah Judy stepping up?
Elijah Judy, he's going to be in the mix there. Yes.
Okay. And I want to let Mr. Archie know that I saw it. I know what it means. I don't know what it means to go that far, but we all know that when you are playing for us, you have more than the whole state backing you up.
That's true.
You have parts of this country backing you up that you don't even know about. And you will have 11 people or 10 other people on that team, on that squad with you that will fight with you. And you have the best special teams coach in the country that will fight with you. Archie, you are not alone. And by the time you leave here, you will understand what it meant to punt at Nebraska. We have an NFL legacy, and we have a very special legacy beyond that. And I hope you know the history, and if you don't, you'll learn it. And just take your time. And if you are asked to be an athlete, be an athlete. We know that Australian rules football is tougher than people think. And we know if you're qualified to do that, you could be qualified to do some very interesting things here.
I think it's a great reminder. Thank you, Mike. What before we go? What do you think about the game? I know you're cautioning everybody to remain calm, but how do you feel going into the first game?
Well, I know that this coaching staff isn't going to make the same level of mistakes as the last one, but I hate to be this. Okay, I will know at halftime.
Okay, so you're in wait and see mode.
By halftime,
you're in wait and see mode.
Where this team is, and I will know where its brain is and where its heart's at. We're going to figure it out.
One game at a time, Mike. One game, one quarter.
And everybody, all the fans, enjoy it, because come February, we're going to be crying. So enjoy every week.
Why do you think we're going to be crying in February?
Because this isn't because football's going to go away for 9 months.
But you're Nebrasketball Mike. Nebrasketball will be playing in February.
I know that. But we all know where this state gets its heart from.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's great to hear from you, Mike. I just, once again, take your own advice. Remain calm. It's going to be okay.
I'm around. I always try.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right.
Nebrasketball Mike with the preseason support for Archie Wilson, Nebraska's punter.
They didn't change the day of the game, right? It's Thursday, right?
Yeah,
it's not today.
Thursday. I was really hoping that he was going to say that
it was awesome.
He felt like Nebraska was going to win like 85-0 or something like that.
You need to just be calm. Don't expect 50-0 because it's going to be 70.
We gotta come February. We're gonna be crying. I will be fine in February.
You'll be happier.
I think I'll be totally good in February. I like to stay pretty even keel.
Mm-hmm.
February, I'll be good. I don't know what everybody else will be doing in February. Maybe they'll be crying.
Connor, in February,
what?
When you hit K on your keyboard,
yeah,
Ken Palm's going to come right up. It's going to be like, are you trying to go to Ken Palm?
Joke's on you, Josh. I do that right now, and it does that. I don't go to any other K websites.
All right.
I don't go to kpopdemonhunters.com.
You should, from what I hear.
Archie's got a lot of support. A lot of support from a lot of people. For the record, I actually, he's doing fine. He just had a moment where he's like, oh yeah, I am really far away from my family and I really love them. So then he, kind of burst out in tears. But
yeah, nobody ever plays
fine.
that part of the Mitch Sherman clip. Just the part where he's crying.
I think he's doing fine. But it was nice of Sue and Nebrasketball Mike to both send their thoughts along to Archie and the rest of America.
Only takes a few seconds to send your love to Archie.
Do we have broadcast crew for this game yet? I mean, we're going to be about 3 days away from getting. I mean, I'm sure they already know.
I'm sure they know. I have not seen a press release.
I got to see that.
Yeah,
I got to see who's doing that because that they're going to talk about. I mean, that clip is getting played during that game.
100%.
Yeah. Yep. Sam writes in on Twitter.
Hi, Sam.
February is always when Creighton is in the middle of their montage level run after an underwhelming non-con. Yeah, exactly. I'll be fine in February. I will not be crying. I will miss football, but I like the seasons, and there will be things to look forward to. There will be things to look back upon. Sure, Nebraska will have done very well in the transfer portal.
Ooh,
things like that. Where they may have lost some people in the transfer portal, but then they probably got some more people in the transfer portal, and everybody will be excited about the upcoming, the quick to come 2026 Nebraska football season. Thank you for calling Random Mike. It is great to hear. I wonder if he's going down to the game. If you are, Mike, drop down at the tailgate, at the Blur tailgate at Kauffman Stadium.
Nebrasketball
Mike. Did I say Random Mike?
You did.
Sorry. Random Mike, you can come too.
We got a lot of mics.
We do. There's only mics who call the show. All right, let's take a break. 11 o'clock hour is coming up. We have some audio to get to from yesterday, and Allan Bell will join us at the bottom of the hour. More to come on 1620 The Zone. All right, Nebrasketball, Kansas City. Many are. Been a lot of conversation about Kansas City recently.
You're going to have to deal with Kansas City.
Kansas City's interested in what's going on in Omaha. Omaha's interested in what's going on in Kansas City. Remember that one time in the summer where I went on the Kansas City radio shows 2 days in a row because all they wanted to talk about was CAGs?
That's right.
And now CAGs is in Omaha. Did you see that CAGs and Mark Canna went out and got ice cream? I gotta tell you about this. Okay, so let me see where. Oh, I got this in a mess. Somebody sent this to me last night. Apparently, there is like a pop-up truck, ice cream truck, in Omaha called the Sorcerer's Cone. Josh, I'm sure you're interested in this.
Boy, it sure seems like it's right up my alley. Sorcerer's Cone. What happened to ice cream for sale?
So
you gotta have a cute name.
No. The Sorcerer's Cone. So they had ice cream floats, various waffle cones, ice cream flavors.
You can't get whatever you want. A hat's gonna tell you what to get.
That would be a great bit. That would be awesome. But Jack Caglione and Mark Canna both wore capes and went over to the Sorcerer's Cone. Here, let me see if I can hold this. Here is the photographic evidence.
Wow.
There's Cags and Mark Canna.
Is this like a rookie punishment, or was that just a Tuesday for those gentlemen?
Well, I mean, neither of those guys. I guess Cags is kind of a rookie, but yeah, they just I think they just love Harry Potter, maybe. Or maybe they're just like, you know what? What else is there to do in Omaha beside dress up like Harry Potter and go get ice cream?
Okay, now yeah, that's possible. I disagree, but that is a take people have.
I just received a text. This is directed at Josh.
Okay.
Are you going to let Connor just keep calling him Cags like they're boys? That's directed at you, Josh. Are you going to keep letting me do this?
We've called him Cags all year. Yes, I think I will let that continue.
That's right. And we are boys.
Yeah.
Best friends.
Co-workers.
We've talked many times.
Colleagues.
At least twice at various College World Series, and once the other day when he had an accordion. There was
whoa, this guy sounds like a real dork.
The Storm Chasers mascot, Stormy, decided that he found an accordion somewhere and then delivered it over to Jack Caglione, where he took a picture of Cags, as he's commonly referred to.
His boys call him that.
Yep, Cags. So, yep, a lot of Kansas City, Omaha stuff. I don't see Kansas City having any Sorcerer's Cones, Josh. Does that make them a better city or a worse city? You decide.
Mark me down for better.
John emails in.
Hi, John.
Subject line, Kansas City. Kansas City has a functioning streetcar. Will Josh check it out while you guys are down there? I believe it is free to ride. It is free to ride. I have ridden it for free.
I have as well. It's great because it goes places people want to go.
Yeah.
Instead of just where your real estate developer friends want the streetcar to go.
Josh, maybe people will want to go on places that the streetcar takes you to when it goes up in Omaha, whenever that might be.
Have you?
And don't you want to cross the Harney Street Bridge?
Don't you want to drive by this dilapidated building, or perhaps the other dilapidated building?
But what happens when the streetcar is developed? All of a sudden, the buildings aren't so dilapidated anymore.
Well, when the hobos who ride the streetcar frequent those businesses, I'm sure they'll do great. Year in, year out. Also,
no, we're going to take Josh in the streetcar.
We can't build a bridge on Giles. How are we going to build a streetcar?
It's looking good on Harney Street.
It's a very small chunk.
The bridge on Giles is already built. Okay, they're just adding a lane, I think.
They need to add many lanes.
I don't know.
3 of them.
I'm very, very unhappy about that. What's going on out there? But yeah, Omaha's a little under construction right now. Maybe Kansas City will be when we go down there next week.
That's progress.
Excuse our progress, as the people like to say. So, speaking of Kansas City, People are good and fired up. When you think of Kansas City, you think of what, Josh?
Women's soccer.
Really? That's very progressive of you.
Yeah, that's right. What do you
Nice.
guys think of normal stuff?
I think about the 2015 World Champion Kansas City Royals.
Oh, okay. Good club.
I think about the game where everyone's limbs were falling off because it was a frozen playoff game between the Dolphins and the Chiefs. And I think about barbecue.
Barbecue. That's what I should have said.
So once again, remember when we did the Chunkies last week? Somebody's going to do some food reviews on TikTok next week, or it'll make its way to Twitter, and then that'll be happening. So expect that. But Terry Braden, Nebraska's defensive line coach, who's spent the last several years in Kansas City as their assistant defensive line coach, has now joined Nebraska. And what do you know? His first game right back at home at Arrowhead Stadium. He talked many times yesterday about how he's spoken to George Karlaftis, and he's interested in going to the game. But then he also said, yeah, Karlaftis and Chris Jones, like, you know, you never really know what they're going to do. Like they said that they wanted to go to the game, but you never really know if they're going to be there or not. I have no idea. So I don't know if they'll be there or not. But he was asked yesterday about his favorite barbecue joints in Kansas City. And this is where the audio comes into play, Josh. What did Terry Braden have to say loudly?
Are you trying to get me in trouble?
All right. What that was echoing a lot. Your mic's not on. Okay. Josh does not want his mic to be on. Loudly, Terry Braden said, Gates, no sauce. Go ahead.
Oh, you trying to get me in trouble. But I'm going to say it. I'm a Gates man. No sauce, all barbecue. And I hope y'all try some Gates if y'all come now. I appreciate y'all time. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
How was that?
That was awesome.
Okay.
That was awesome. Probably the impact of it was lessened by the fact that I said exactly what he was going to say right before he then said it. But I do like him saying.
I like the passion in which he said
he's
it.
a very loud man. He's a very loud man. So Gates, no sauce, all barbecue. It's my type of guy, I guess. I don't know. I like sauce.
Were there follow-ups to that? Like,
no, that was his walk-off.
oh,
that was it.
Okay.
That was it. I'll see you guys later. We'll see you down there.
All barbecue. What does that mean?
And just meat.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain people in our listening audience who just really enjoy meat and they don't care about anything else. They're not interested. They're not interested in vegetables. They're not interested in noodles. They're not interested in anything that goes along with the meat. Just give me the meat. That's what some people say. Not me. I like the other stuff.
Okay.
I like the sauce. I think the sauce can really make the barbecue. Obviously, you want the meat to be good. Gates sauce is pretty good. It's got a little bit of twang to it there.
Mm-hmm.
Gates is an option for you guys when you go down to Kansas City and next week. By the way, quick tweet here from Flaky Jake.
Hi, Flaky Jake.
What's Josh got against the Sorcerer's Cone? That's my Uncle Rusty's ice cream trailer. I won't read the rest of the tweet because I think it's a joke.
Now I'm confused. Yeah, I don't
think it's his Uncle Rusty's trailer.
I don't care for Harry Potter.
He doesn't care for Harry Potter. That's what he has against it.
Personal tragedy befell me.
Here's a text from the 402.
Hi, 402.
Do you think George Brett will be at the Nebraska game? Great question. Probably be at the Bellagio eating crab legs.
Will he be at
Maybe
Royals
he won't do
night
that again
the next day, or Husker night at the
Yeah, you know what? That's I'm glad you said that, Josh, because it really is going to feel like Royals night. Like they're doing a special Royals night, but it'll just be all Nebraska fans.
Yes.
But it's a big game. Maybe Tarek Scuba will be pitching.
Ooh.
That night. Can we hear from Terry Braden again, or is it, or are we because I just like the audio clip. That's why I made it an audio clip instead of video. Okay, here we go. Let's hear from Terry again.
Oh, you trying to get me in trouble. But I'm going to say it. I'm a Gates man. No sauce, all barbecue. And I hope y'all try some Gates if y'all come now. I appreciate y'all time. Thank y'all so much.
See ya. Thank you. All right, on to football stuff from yesterday. John Butler He's Nebraska's new defensive coordinator. And I don't know if you've heard about this. He's got a little bit of an edge to him. All right. We can take the phone call first, and I'll delay in getting to the audio. John Butler talks a little bit about aggression yesterday and the things that they want to do on the defensive side of the ball, specifically as it pertains to coverage and things like that, which, if you guys know John Butler, he has, like I said, he's got that edge to him a little bit, and that is going to be a piece of what they do. So we'll hear the audio in just a second, but frankly, like I'm really excited to see what Nebraska's defense looks like when it has this, like I've always said, many defensive coordinators have come in here and they've said, look, man, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to make you really earn it. And this and this and this and this. I think for this team that should be a little bit better on offense, or quite a lot better on offense. The idea is you get a little bit more explosive on defense. With that, you could allow some big plays, and you might be penalized a little bit. Here's John Butler yesterday on how they're going to play things in coverage defensively.
And then in relation to your coverage piece, I've always believed, and we believe, that we're going to play as aggressive as the officials allow us to play. Honestly, I learned that a couple of years ago from Dave Merritt, not from him personally, but Dawson's son Dave is the DB coach for the Chiefs, and I watched how they played our receivers in Buffalo, and they played them very aggressively. And obviously in the playoffs, they let you play. So that was about 5 or 6 years ago. And since then, I've always believed in playing them aggressively, but I think you got to play to the standard of what the officiating is allowing. And our guys have been very aggressive down the field. The thing we just have to be sure of is that, you're not being aggressive down the field when the ball's in the air. I think that's something you can work on, that we will continue to work on. But, when you're an attack-oriented defense, everything you're doing is with that mindset and mentality. And when things come up like that with regards to penalties, you just try to adjust your technique, but don't change your level of aggressiveness, because we're not backing off.
So for the record, he was talking about Dave Merritt. So Dave Merritt is Dawson's dad. I think he mixed that one up a little bit.
Oh, no.
And then he said not directly from, which I don't even know what that means. I didn't get this directly from him, but maybe they talked about it or something like that. But the idea was, he saw the way that the Chiefs would play his receivers when he was a coach for the Buffalo Bills. And he said, man, like, they're really physical. How are they getting away with this stuff? And the answer is because they're not calling it. That's how they're getting away with this stuff. So you're a little bit dependent on how close people are calling the game and things like that. But I got to tell you, like, I've seen a little bit of reaction to this. It's like, yeah, what in the world? Like, are we going to be getting penalties? Is Nebraska going to be getting penalties all the time because they're just really aggressive on the edge and stuff like that? In my opinion, that is a bridge that you cross when you get there. Rule said that he had the Big Ten, he had some officials come in over the weekend, and they, he asked them to call it tight. He asked them to call it close. So have a quick whistle and have a quick flag pull. Which I think is probably good practice to kind of know what you can and cannot get away with. But I got to tell you, like, I know for a fact that people get frustrated with soft coverage on the edge just because that's not supposed to. It's just they feel like it's not supposed to look that way. And like, why are we just letting them catch these? Like, they could take 6 yards all day long, and we'll play them underneath if we have to. That feels like what Nebraska has had, and they've had the defense to fit that over the last couple of years. They're really big up front, maybe not quite as good in the defensive backfield and on the edges. But if you feel like you have the corners to cover, and if you feel like you can jam and play aggressive on the outside, I think that's a good idea. With that being said, are you going to get beat a few times? Is there going to be a wide receiver that is just better than your coverage? Absolutely. Is the quarterback going to put it in the exact right place? Absolutely. That's going to happen from time to time. So I think we're getting some clues on, just how they're going to try and win football games this year. And we could talk about this a little bit later on the show. Nebraska's offense, like I said, should be quite a lot better this year and maybe more explosive offensively as well. If you get more explosive defensively, like your goal is to actually get the ball back to the offense, where it feels like Nebraska was playing defense purposefully last year. You know what I mean? When the offense got the ball back, you're like, oh boy, what are we going to do? We're going to drive this thing 30 yards and then punt, or are we going to punt it right now?
How many PI penalties can the offense get for
Yeah.
themselves?
So that's the thing that Nebraska took advantage of last year. That's for sure. I also wonder what sort of impact Nebraska playing aggressively in practice might have on their wide receivers throughout camp. I think it's really important to be able to, get shocked with a little bit of that contact right out of the gate. I mean, think about it. The way Nebraska, not that they're soft coverage all the time. There's different things that they've been doing over the last several years, but the mentality is the mentality. If you're playing soft underneath coverage, in practice, and all of a sudden you get to the games and you got these corners on the edges who are big and physical and they want to jam you and they want to play aggressive and they want to push and shove and all that stuff, you're probably just not as prepared for that when you get into the games coming from the defense that you practice against. So I think that gives the wide receivers a much better look as well, and it teaches them how to sort of fight through things. I just don't know if catching contested balls over the last couple of years from a wide receiver standpoint for Nebraska has necessarily been their strong point recently. I wonder if that has something to do with it. A couple of people just sort of sounding the alarm like, oh man, is this going to be a highly penalized defense? And I don't care. If they're getting penalties for over aggression on defense, that's something that you can just live with, because it means the other times in which you're not getting called for penalties, which is most of the time, you're being really, really physical and aggressive with the other teams. Like, I think that's a good thing. So I hope to see that a little bit from them this year. I wonder if that's something that you will functionally be able to see. But I think one thing that we've learned throughout camp is this defense is going to be quite a bit different under John Butler. I think the standard line has been, they're going to be in a 3-4, and it's just kind of passed along from Tony White and all that stuff. No, I mean, I think they look different physically. I think they should be more explosive. They should be a little bit more pass rush oriented instead of that coming from the interior. It probably comes from the outsides a little bit more now. And because I think they have some strong pass rushers, guys that can get to the quarterback. And I think they should be better in the defensive backfield. So I think from a physical profile standpoint, they've given themselves the ability to be a little bit more aggressive and downhill on defense, which I don't know about you guys, is just music to my ears. Like I love that idea.
Just hope it doesn't look like those bow teams that would get a personal foul every third play. Just being undisciplined. And
would they? I mean, I don't really remember it that way. I don't really remember it that way. No? Like I remember those teams as fast and aggressive, and they hit hard. I don't know if I would call their defense undisciplined during that time. But once again, like, if this is a riding scale and we're talking about aggressiveness, and then we ultimately have to question whether they are disciplined or not, I am okay with crossing that bridge when we get there. Like,
I'm okay having to reel you back in, but
yeah,
I don't want it to be like.
I think it needs to be in the DNA of this team to be, a little bit more downhill than they have been over the last couple of years. So I think that's a pretty good hint into how they want to organize things and feel like they can play football on defense. David writes in on YouTube. He says, aggressiveness penalties are about technique. I hate poor technique. Get low on tackles, lowest man wins, and no late hits. Yeah. As long as they're strong in those categories.
Let's do that.
And I got I love that. I love what they're trying to go for on the defensive side of the ball. And we'll talk about this later, like I said, because I think it makes some sense. We'll talk to Allan Bell in just a few minutes. But moving on here, I saw that The Athletic did this planning a college sports road trip. These are the 25 best stops worth making.
Whoa.
Okay. So the top 25 destinations for college sports fans. College sports fans. The number one destination is Columbus, Ohio, which is interesting because that always has felt like more of a professional town to me.
They have an NHL team.
They do have an NHL team, but obviously you got like is the Shoe one of those places that you just have to see? And I say this with a lack of knowledge because I've never been there. But I've never seen that on TV and thought, whoa, that's just like a cathedral to the game, and I got to go see it.
I would like to go.
It's cool because their team is good.
Yeah, I don't feel the pull of this is a must.
Iowa City, Iowa made the list. You got to see Iowa City.
You got to see Iowa City.
You got to see the baby. You got to see Kinnick, of course.
Wave at the kids. Wave at the baby.
Lincoln, Nebraska comes in at number 8. You have to go see the Sea of Red. Preferably, as they write, you could do it on November 28th, which is Black Friday. You could watch Iowa versus Nebraska football and Penn State at Nebraska in volleyball, all on that same day.
Oh.
And then the final stop on the road trip, this has all been planned out for you on The Athletic. Apparently this lasts several months. This is a several month long road trip, almost an entire year.
Good thing vacation's a construct.
Totally. People do this, right? They just leave their jobs and go for 9 months. Stop number 25, Omaha, Nebraska, for the Men's College World Series.
That's a 7-month vacation.
Here's what it says. Your 25th and final stop is an event that's called Omaha home since 1950. Around 25,000 fans packed Charles Schwab Field, Omaha, for the final series, which allows a format similar to the women's. Check out the Jello Shot Challenge at Rocco's while you're in town. I would advise you to come to Omaha any time of the year. During the College World Series would be a great time. I don't know. Has that become one of the things where like you just you kind of have to see it? You gotta go see. I mean, come on,
gotta go see
we're going
Rocco's.
to Omaha. We gotta go see Rocco's.
Outside of Omaha, yes.
Okay. But look at this. College sports capital of the world. Omaha, Lincoln, the state of Nebraska. People are flocking.
Crown
Salmon
us.
Capistrano. Fantastic. So some of these other places.
Yeah, what else was on this list? Women's College World Series? Oklahoma City?
Yes. That was on here. So here's how they set it up. They say go to the Texas Ohio State game on August 30th. Then you go to once again, this is not in any sort of order. I think this is a very nebulous sort of list. Chapel Hill for Florida State and North Carolina in women's soccer on September 17th.
Okay.
That's where you're going next, Josh. Then you're going all the way up to State College for the whiteout, for the Penn State whiteout.
Okay.
Exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going a short trip over to Dallas for the State Fair, Red River.
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
Then you're going up to, once again, this road trip makes geographically no sense. South Bend, Indiana for the USC Notre Dame game, possibly the last ever.
Depending on who you
Cowards,
talk to.
ask Scott Wolf. Jacksonville for the world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
Sure.
Tuscaloosa for LSU in Alabama on November 8th. Then you're up to Lincoln for Black Friday. Then the next day you're in Ann Arbor for Ohio State and Michigan. Then after a quick pit stop going from Lincoln to Ann Arbor, you go right back to Kansas for Yukon, Kansas on December 2nd. Okay. In basketball.
Hoops.
Then you go up to Baltimore for the Army-Navy game. Then you go all the way across the country to the granddaddy of them all, in the Rose Bowl. Mm-hmm. Then you go all the way back to Stores for Notre Dame Yukon women's basketball. Iowa City for the Penn State Iowa wrestling match.
A lot of Penn State on this.
Boston for the Beanpot tournament in hockey. Columbia, South Carolina for women's basketball between Tennessee and South Carolina. Syracuse for the lacrosse game, the march up from Marshall Street between is this
Johns
Hopkins, Syracuse, Cornell situation. Okay. Then Durham for Duke, North Carolina.
There it is.
Salt Lake City for a regular season Utah gymnastics meet. I cannot explain this.
I don't
Absurd
know why that's
list.
on there.
Fort Worth, Texas, and Sacramento, California for the women's basketball, either Elite Eight, for the Elite Eight. That's not even one stop. That's two. Indianapolis for the Final Four. Baton Rouge for a regular season conference series at LSU baseball. Oklahoma City for the Women's College World Series. Eugene, Oregon for the track championships, and then Omaha for the College World Series. That sounds like a lot of traveling, Josh.
You think we could get
I don't know if all those places are bucket list places.
Yeah, to sponsor us to like just do this for a year, like just this is going to be our year. We'll blog about it. We'll post about it on social.
We don't do shows.
No shows.
We take the show off.
This is
the show is canceled.
This is my year. I will be traveling and doing all of these. Even
maybe we could get Mr. Beast to pay for it.
Oh yeah, even like the 3 things that I was like, why is that on the list?
Sure, might as well see it.
Yeah.
By the way, Dan wrote in from earlier.
Hi, Dan.
You always said you're looking for a new name for the show. There it is. No sauce, all barbecue. Perfect. We'll take that up the flagpole.
Do you know how much free food we would get?
Also, that road trip, John texts in, this road trip is like Gary planned it. Gary famously takes the wrong way from Omaha to Kansas.
That's right.
Or Topeka.
How's he getting to Kansas City?
That's a great question. I don't know. Where is Gary?
I don't know.
I have no idea. All right. Quick break. Allan Bell will join us on the other side. It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
I'm rooting for Texas Tech. John, your thoughts? I'm rooting for the big
comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
Allan Bell, the AB3 on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
That's right. Let's have a chat with our dear friend Allan Bell, driving the line. Joins us now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone Hotline. AB, good morning. What's going on?
Good morning, my friend. How we doing?
Good. Oh, so we could start you off with a food topic today. A local dignitary that we're having on the show in about an hour enjoys pineapple on his pizza. What say you about pineapple on pizza?
Ooh, all right. It's definitely user's choice on this, right? Like, not everybody's going to go for it, but I'm in. I like it. Somehow it works, man. Especially, like, dude, when the pineapple chunks are hot, when they're warm. All in. I take it you guys are not all in on it.
I'm not. I actually don't know if Josh is.
I'll do it in the time and place. Not every time I get a pie, but yeah, it has its place.
Your sell though of the pineapple chunks being warm really didn't work. It didn't work for me. I don't know.
That was the anti-marketing right there. You're right. It doesn't sound appetizing.
No. It just doesn't feel right. I don't know. I'm like, hey.
It sounds like a hassle. That's what it sounds.
I'm like, I'm fine with pineapple and I love pizza, but I those two things are just so different in my brain that it would feel so wrong to me. And I don't know. I guess I don't know if it would taste good or not. I'm not sure if I've ever had it.
Yeah. And the hard part is that pizza's so good that it's like, why would I take a shot? I know that this sausage pepperoni combination is money. Like, why would I go anywhere else?
Exactly. That's my issue. There's a lot of good options for pizza out there. So, all right, we'll try and hash that one out here in a little while. Daniel Jones is going to be the starter for the Indianapolis Colts this year, Allan. If you are an Indianapolis Colts fan, you're probably not exactly thrilled about your future, but are you more or less or the same amount of excited for your season if you're a Colts fan today?
I'm less excited because Anthony Richardson obviously has the higher ceiling. But with Daniel Jones being named the starter, clearly that ceiling was not going to be met, right? And that's the tough part is that, look, I like Daniel Jones. There's nothing against him. But you just know what the limitations are. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's going to be a tough go this year in Indy. Like, they have talent, but
how has that team gone so many years now without? I mean, really post Luck. I mean, they must have had 7 different starting quarterbacks during that period of time. And
you want to hear a crazy stat?
Yeah. What is? Yeah. Do you actually have the number?
Well, I don't have the number, but I have this. Every single team, every other team in the AFC South has won the division twice since the last time the Colts won the AFC South.
See, that's crazy to think about because I regard the Colts as like a solid. I mean, you could pretty much count on them for, they're not going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL by the year, but they've been so deficient at quarterback basically the entirety of the last decade, and that has felt to me like the issue. I don't know what I'm missing but on paper, watching from 40,000 feet, it's just like, yeah, if they really figured out quarterback, they could probably take off fast.
Oh yeah, I mean they've got defense, they've got Jonathan Taylor. Like you have weapons, but you're right. I mean that's why like it is a have or have not league at the quarterback position, and unfortunately. Most teams have a quarterback. You remember 15 years ago, buddy, we had so many quarterback battles in training camp because there weren't that many great quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
Now, look across it, man. Like, there aren't many battles. So if you are having a battle, that ain't good. There are no good teams going through this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's tough. In 2 years, I guess, you might be able to take a shot for Archman and get Peyton number 2, but we'll see about that.
Is there a world where Daniel Jones, with a little bit more of an infrastructure behind him, and like he's shown flashes in his career, it hasn't been all bad, but he has been on a bad team for his entire career. Like, is there a world where he stabilizes them a little bit and they do enough in a subpar division, as you mentioned?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's the good part, is that you are playing in the AFC South, right? And yeah, there is an aspect that he will calm them down. The problem is that Daniel Jones is what he is. All right, now that he's athletic as all get out, but he's not gonna win you games. Now, if Daniel Jones were on the Eagles, the Broncos, right, where you had just a match, like a great defense, and you don't have to do a whole lot, right? Like, they're not going to ask you to, put the team on your shoulders. Yeah, he could be a quarterback.
I got one for you. How about the Vikings? Yeah. What if Daniel Jones was in J.J. McCarthy's exact shoes? Would everybody be saying Daniel Jones is like a dark horse? Like Sam Darnold did it last year.
100%. He's just as talented as Sam Darnold, right? Like, you put it with a great defense, with an unbelievable defensive line, run the football, have star wide receivers. Yeah, Daniel Jones could do great, man. Like, it's one of those things where sometimes in life, like, you're either a show horse, a money horse, or a workhorse, and not there's not one that's better than the other. You just got to know what the team needs, right? And sometimes you just need somebody to kind of stabilize this thing. And yeah, like, he would be all right in Minnesota, but in Indy, nah, man.
It's a little different.
They need somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allan Bell's with us, driving the line. Another quarterback one. Matthew Stafford returned to practice yesterday. He's 37 years old. He's still a serviceable quarterback, but it does feel like this is sort of hanging on by a thread a little bit as far as his health is concerned. He's had injury concerns, a lot now throughout his long NFL career. So we'll take this into the team part as well. When you mix that into the equation of what you think about the Rams, what do you come out with for them this year? They seem to me like, it could go really, really bad, or it could be good for them.
Yeah. Now I'll say, man, with Sean McVay, I'm never concerned about the big fall off. They might not be great. They might not be good, but they won't completely fall off, right? I think you nailed it with this Matthew Stafford thing. And look, I love Matthew Stafford, man. I'm down with him. That guy is tough. But here's the hard part, is that when you start talking about backs and you start talking about hips, like, they don't get better. You treat them and you deal with it, right? Like, he's not having back surgery, because that's serious, man. Like, so what I'm saying is that whether you're looking at it from a Rams perspective, looking at it from a betting perspective, you're looking at it from a fantasy perspective, a survivor pool, whatever, I would get comfortable understanding the backup quarterback position with the Rams, because, dude, you can wake up and your back is killing you. Like, it's a nightmare, because you never know when it's going to attack. Anybody that's had back issues will tell you that, man. So this is going to be touch and go all year.
Yeah.
And no Matthew Stafford, you're not going to be better. They're not going to fall off, but you want that guy.
They're scary to me, because everybody's, they have, looking at all the whatever power rankings before the season or the odds, the Rams seem to be pretty well regarded as like a top 10-ish team in the NFL by basically everybody, but it changes dramatically when it's not Matthew Stafford. It's just a tough thing for me to be like, oh yeah, he's going to be there the entire year and everything's going to go fine. Like, if there is a team in the top 10 where I'm like, ooh, this seems a little flimsy, they might be the one.
Yeah. And not that we're, talking about, oh, Stafford could be gone for the year, but he could miss a couple weeks here and there, right? Like, that's the tough part. You start projecting it. What are you going to do? I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So, we've basically covered, we've been doing this for what, like a month now, looking at all these teams and sort of, where's the arrow pointed. And now I think we've run through enough. It's almost time for the season here, Allan. I'm pretty excited. Any updates on So I'm looking at ESPN's power rankings right now. I have been just saying for the longest time that the Saints are the worst team in the NFL. They seem like the worst team in the NFL to me. But I'm looking at this list. It says the Titans, your Tennessee Titans, are the worst team in the NFL. Somehow worse than the Saints. What say you?
Yeah. Well, you know what? We currently hold the title because we had the number one pick in the draft. So there's nothing I can really argue about that. We're going to have to earn our way out. And I'll tell you this. Week 1, the Titans go to Denver. That's not going to be a good game. I have a feeling that the Broncos are going to be a very popular survivor pick team in week 1.
Yeah, I would imagine so too. Allan, it's good to chat as always. Thanks for the takes on toppings on pizza and football. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, boys. Y'all be good, man.
Allan Bell, driving the line. You can check him out on Twitter at Allan G. Bell. He's got his picks out there every single day. And the thing that I like about Allan and his pod, picks are right at the top.
Doesn't hold the audience for 45 minutes.
Picks are on there. You know, you watch some of the creator stuff, and you know, you're like, they're basically like those cookbook websites where it's like, here's my family recipe, and they tell you this whole story about how it's passed down from generations and all this different stuff, and you're scrolling, see more like 4 times before you ultimately just get to the recipe. The recipe's right there, and then we build off the recipe. Very transparent. I like it. Let's take a quick break. Coming up, it's the Odd News on 1620 The Zone.
He gives you the latest sports news, analysis, and commentary in a clean, concise, and disease-free way.
See there?
What a relief. Thank God.
Wonderful.
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Hello, I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. If you've ever wanted to have your cake and eat it too, there's good news. You can have that every day at Equitable Bank. You get state-of-the-art mobile banking as well as online banking. And if you ever forget your password, don't worry. You can give us a call at 402-827-8100.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
Here's a take from Jim Rome, Clones. Not being able to beat out Daniel Jones obviously does not reflect well on Anthony Richardson. Daniel Jones being Daniel Jones does not reflect well on Daniel Jones. Hey.
I was with him on that first part.
People too hard on that guy. People too hard on Danny
That
Dimes.
guy's going to hold a clipboard for the next 12 years in this league.
Hey, no, stop. You're doing it too. You're being very mean. Don't be so mean to Daniel Jones. You don't think that there's a world.
No, that's good. He's the new Chase Daniel.
But he's not horrible.
He can get you some wins in this league
With a steady team around Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones could do some stuff.
I do agree with your take that if he was on the Vikings, we would think he was like they would
how many MVP votes did Sam Darnold get last year?
Right. I do agree with that.
You know what I mean?
But if you're asking Daniel Jones to go get you wins in the NFL, you're going to have a bad time.
Sam Darnold, he got 0 first place votes, which nobody would vote first place for Sam Darnold, but he was in the top 10 for the MVP last year.
Okay.
Sam Darnold. Yeah. So I'm just saying, don't be so mean to Danny Dimes. That's the Dan wagon.
Have you seen Nick's thumbnail?
I might, you know what? I might zag on him.
Whoa.
People are being really mean to him, and I don't like it. I don't like when people are mean to him. He was on a bad team, bad franchise, bad situation. He was in New York. People hated him simply because he wasn't incredible, right? He didn't pull single-handedly pull his team out of. I mean, they shouldn't have drafted him where they drafted him, all of that stuff. But
bit of a reach.
That is a serviceable NFL quarterback at the very least. I could live with that. I am not surprised.
I'll meet you at serviceable.
I am not surprised to see him beat Anthony Richardson. Which would you rather have if you were a psychotic football coach? The guy who throws the ball 90 yards sometimes, or in 80% of the time he makes mind-numbingly dumb decisions, or Daniel Jones, who's just going to make good decisions and probably do a little bit for you athletically too.
If I was a psychopath, I'd probably take Daniel Jones. In the
Yeah.
lack of atmosphere
And
that
you're
the
an-
big oil drum provides.
And you're an NFL coach. You are a psychopath.
I am.
That's what I'm saying. Black Cat says, it's not his fault he can't read. He's fine. Don't be so mean to Danny. All right. What do we got?
We have tragedy in Connecticut as an overzealous father decided he was going to go down the slide with his child.
Who went down the slide?
An overzealous father.
Okay.
Said, I'm going to go down the slide with my child.
Mm-hmm.
The town of Vernon Fire Department showed up later to extract the father from the middle portion of a tube slide.
That's not a good place to be.
Have you done this? Have you taken your daughter to the park and
yeah,
taking her down the slide? Probably too big for the tube slides.
I don't think I'm too big for a tube slide.
No, I'm sorry, I misspoke. She's probably too little for the tube slides.
Wait a minute. Like by herself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she could do many slides at all by herself, probably. Yeah. She kind of still flops around a little bit. She doesn't exactly know what's coming. She's kind of in the no fear stage.
Sure.
I don't really know what I'm doing. I just know I can do these things. She'll dive off of the couch.
Yeah.
Have no repercussions whatsoever. So, you learn. Hopefully this wasn't the first time that he tried to go down the slide with the kid, because you really learn a lot the first time you go down the slide with your kid.
Yeah.
You just understand what you can handle and what your body can handle and things like that. The slides can't be sticky. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Did we not worry when we were kids going down slides about our pants?
No.
I'm all worried about my pants now.
What a time.
That's what being an adult is, I think.
Are
Just
you
being
worried about keeping them clean or worried about them ripping?
or bunching up and injuring me in a painful way?
Nah.
I'm worried too much about pants now. I'm too pants conscious.
Full question. Are you too pants conscious? The man was said to be wedged feet and head first in the middle. And I don't know how that's possible.
You can't go feet and head first.
In the middle. That's what the article says.
That's impossible.
In the middle portion of the slide at North. Now that means he got caught and then
tried to
bent himself over somehow, right?
Yeah.
Photos from the scene show the man had somehow ended up sideways with his body folded at the waist. The rescuers set up ventilation equipment to keep the man cool amid the high temperatures inside the slide.
This is bad. I think that I would be able to get out of the tube slide should I get stuck in the tube slide. I believe in myself. Wow. That is one thing where maybe I have some irrational confidence.
I would do my damnedest to.
I don't think I'd get stuck in a tube
I
slide.
can't be the guy that had the fire department called on him.
No.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
But
I'm going to cut my way out of there.
That could make it worse, theoretically. We go to Washington Township, New Jersey.
Okay.
Where one crash has resulted in 2 DWI arrests. You see police at 11:45 p.m. responded to a crash where it was a one vehicle crash. The driver was drunk. They said
he was drunk, but there he goes.
You're coming with us. We're taking you into the holding cell. And there was a passenger, and the passenger said, "Excuse me, officer, I would like to go home. Could I go home? I wasn't driving, but I am also drunk." And they said, "Yes, sure, of course."
Oh no.
They took the person home, and that person drove drunk to the police station to pick up the first drunk driver.
That. Now, could he potentially introduce, can he make the case that he was booby trapped?
This is entrapment.
That he was, yeah. He was lured into the honeypot.
I mean, I guess that's the argument I would make in court.
They took me home and then called me and said, "Pick this guy up." I told them I was drunk.
They knew I was drunk.
They knew I was drunk and then told me to come back to pick the guy up. What'd you think I was going to be? Not drunk? That's tricky. I wonder if he'll introduce a lawsuit there. Might be something.
Sorry, I have to tell Nick you did a good job.
Good job, Nick.
It's a very good graphic, Nick. Thank you.
All right.
I'd like to go on with my job now. You don't have a lot of ex-girlfriends, so this is not a great question for you. So we'll skip that portion of the segment.
Okay.
A woman in Kentucky is accused of pouring salt in her ex's car engine and putting glitter in the air conditioner.
If I did have ex-girlfriends though, I just don't think I'd be mad at it. I can't stay mad at anybody for more than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I really can't. I'm not a vindictive person.
You would like to end things very amicably.
I don't hold grudges.
I need to lead you to the decision that we should no longer be together because I'm already there.
I think that I would have the capacity to make that decision, but in my adult life, but I just would I be mad at them for the way they are? I decided to date them in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Doesn't that reflect poorly on me? And then all of a sudden you look in the mirror, you're like,
some would
damn,
say,
why did I pick that?
Gotta get out.
What happened to me?
In a criminal complaint, the Richmond, this is in Kentucky, police department says Stephanie Carlquist totaled her ex-boyfriend's car after the couple got into an argument in early June. The complaint says Carlquist poured salt into the engine, glitter in the AC vent, slashed a tire, cracked a windshield, cracked a rearview mirror, and shattered the car's radio screen.
That sounds like a Carrie Underwood song.
It really does. About $12,000 plus in damage after Carlquist learned the boyfriend allegedly Somebody, I'm confused. Somebody messaged somebody they shouldn't on Instagram.
Okay.
And
She said that's why they split.
Yeah, hey, why you talking to this girl?
Mm-hmm.
And it was stressed out because of a pregnancy between the two.
Ooh.
And she said, hey, I'm sorry about the damage. The article notes that the car was overdue for an oil change. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything.
Also, you have glitter in the vents. Probably not good. And salt in the engine.
I can tell you what you're doing wrong.
Not good for you. All right, Josh.
Don't be that person.
No, just chill out. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Just walk away.
Go get a Senka.
On to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is the odd news. When we come back, the noon hour is on its way. Brian Rosen will join at the bottom of the hour, where the pineapple on pizza discourse will yet again continue. We'll be back after this on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
Fall is just around the corner, and 1620 The Zone is giving you the chance to win a season pass to Nebraska's favorite fall attraction, Vallis Pumpkin Patch, folks. You could win 2 2025 season passes to Valles and enjoy the fall family fun. You could also choose whether to take the easy way or the squeezy way, something that I do every time I go. That's at Valles Pumpkin Patch. Enter to win right now, 1620thezone.com. This morning, Auburn wanted to tell us some things. There's some news about Auburn's history. These days, teams are going under probation. They're getting fined or whatever it might be. So usually when you look back at history decades and decades later and you're just revealing information about it now, it's probably not positive in a general sense. But Auburn says today that they will finally stake claim to 9 deserving and legitimate college football national championships. I'm just reading from the article, Josh.
See, if you have to put the word legitimate in there, it immediately makes me think it's illegitimate.
I'm reading from the On3 auburnsports.com. It's about time. Auburn football finally will claim 9 deserving and legitimate college football national championships, Auburn Sports confirmed on Tuesday. When reached for comment, athletic director John Cohen offered his explanation of the school's decision. Quote, "For too long, Auburn has chosen a humble approach to our program's storied history, choosing to recognize only Associated Press national championships. But starting this fall, we have made the decision to honor the accomplishments of our deserving student athletes, coaches, and teams from Auburn's proud history. Our visible national championship recognitions now align with the well-established standard used by the NCAA's official record book and our peers across the nation."
We were so humble.
It is an interesting, like, it's a good slant. It's a really good slant.
Yes.
Look, we've spent decades and decades and decades being humble, something that our peers have not done. They're claiming absurd national championships. But the time for being humble is bleeping over. We are claiming these, and we are ending our humbleness right now. Auburn had previously won national championships, once again, deserving and legitimate, in 1913, 1957,
of course,
1983, 1993, and 2010. They are now staking claim to 1910, 1914. These are over 100 years ago. 1958. Congratulations on the back-to-back national championships, 57 and 58 now. And also 2004. They are saying we won not the national championship, but they were national champions.
Just very quickly, we love a history lesson here on the Connor Happer Show.
Please.
Rule changes put into place in the 1910 college football season. The field was 110 yards in length. Kickoff made from midfield. You have 3 downs to gain 10 yards. A touchdown was worth 5 points, and a field goal was worth 3 points. Those were all new rules in the 1910 season.
The one thing that stood was the field goal was worth 3.
Nebraska went 7-1 in the Missouri Valley, 2-0 in the Missouri Valley Conference.
Did they win the national championship?
No, they won the Missouri Valley Championship. That's a lot of independence. Wow.
Unbelievable. So here is the basis on which these claims lie upon.
Okay.
They are now claiming a national championship for 1910, which they finished first in the Lorne Maxwell ratings and the college football rankings by Kyle Metchke.
Very direct.
They are now staking claim to the 1913. No, they already had 1913. 1914 national championships, in which they finished first in the James Howell's power rating system. 1958, in which they finished first in the Montgomery full season championship. David Montgomery, of course, did those. And now the 2004 national championship, in which they finished first in, quote, several rating systems, including Darryl Perry and GBE college football ratings.
Sure. Those are all real things. Now,
this is just...
One of these is the Cam Newton.
No, they already had that.
They already had that one?
That
Okay.
that is an undisputed,
Okay.
definite national champion.
Then-
There was a game, they won it. They previously staked claim to it because it happened, and we all remember it. Okay. Yes. In 2004, in the 2004 season, remember, USC was like miles away the best team in the country that year. They beat Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl 55-19 that year. I don't know what in the hell must have happened for someone to rank Auburn number 1 that year, but apparently it happened according to what was the poll that I just said? The Darryl Perry and the GBE college football ratings. That's where they finished. Even though everyone remembers USC winning the national championship once again, 55-19. It was BCS number 1 versus BCS number 2.
I saw it
there
with
was
my own
a
eyes.
game. It was the Orange Bowl.
It wasn't ancient history that whatever happened in 19. You could tell me whatever happened in 1910 happened, then I'd be like, yeah, sure, okay, I believe you.
Auburn that year. Let's see. They in the AP poll. Try and pull this. They did win the SEC West that year, and they finished 2 in the AP poll. They went 13-0 and ended up they were the first team left out of the national championship. They went to the Sugar Bowl where they beat Virginia Tech 16-13. But of course, they can say, we didn't try in that game. We're an SEC team. We didn't really feel like trying in that game. We only beat number 9 by 3 points. El Scorcho writes in on Twitter.
Hi, El Scorcho.
Deserving and legitimate sounds kind of Trumpy. That's sort of how I read it. Like the beginning of this article is kind of insane. It literally says Auburn football finally will claim 9 deserving and legitimate college football national champion. Like, it feels like maybe there should have been a little bit more objectivity left in here.
Maybe have like a communications person write it.
Yeah, like do an actual release or something like that.
Not just, we were very, very kind. It was very considerate of us to not rub your noses in it.
So here's what the writer from auburnsports.com said about the 04 team. The 2004 team went 13-0, won the SEC title and the Sugar Bowl. Because of a flawed BCS system, Auburn was left out of the national championship game in place of USC and Oklahoma. USC was stripped of that title in 2011, leaving no official BCS champion. Auburn beat 4 top 10 opponents, 5 ranked opponents overall. Oklahoma beat 1 top 10 opponent and 3 ranked opponents in total. USC beat 2 top 10 opponents and 3 ranked opponents. In addition to the updated national title count, Auburn is adding back 3 conference championships. The league titles were previously recognized, but lost in the annals of history somewhere along the way. The program is adding back conference championships that they, quote unquote, won in 1904, 1908, and 1910 when Auburn was in the SIAA, which now brings Auburn to 15 conference titles.
There were co-champions in 1910.
Co-champions in 1910, but you still get to say it. I mean, they split national championships, and this is absurd. This is absurd.
Now, is this because of the Michigan thing? Like, hey,
I love
clearly
college
you
football.
can do whatever you want now, and we're going to do just that.
I don't know. Like, what I'll say about Auburn, Auburn is the biggest chaos team of all time, right? Auburn is basically 100% of the time a complete disaster.
They're the Marlins of college football.
But if it randomly all comes together, if it happens to all come together for them, they could indeed win a national championship because they're just that weird.
Mm-hmm.
The Marlins of college football is a really good way to put it. We should make that a poll question. Is Auburn the Marlins of college football? They really are, because they're a total mess, like almost exclusively all the time. They're talented. They have access to talent. They have all these things. But if they get it all to come together and it all falls right for them, yes, they are one of those teams that actually has a chance to win a national championship. But generally, in any given year, you could count on Auburn to not meet me in the parking lot later. You could count on Auburn to blow their own foot off with a shotgun throughout the year. Like, seriously, they're like if Scott Frost was the perma coach. Imagine if Scott Frost was your coach all the time throughout your entire history.
All the time, huh?
Yeah. Chances are Scott Frost would have had some good seasons if he was the coach all time.
Popped a couple off.
Yeah, of course. But generally, they're going to screw up a lot more than they actually get right.
Okay, so all off season, it took me this long to find it. Winsipedia, very good website.
I love that website.
Their Twitter account has been like, okay, here's the case for every split national championship throughout the history of the sport of college football.
Okay.
1910, Harvard is recognized as a national champion. Here's the case for Auburn, Michigan, Pitt, Vandy, and Washington. And then they lay out the cases for each school, and then they ask you to vote for it.
Sure. So, I love college football. Before we finish that, I love college football's history. I love how it's wacky and different and weird. Yeah. But I am not the kind of person who says we need to get down to one champion every single year. We just need to decide it once and for all. Like, I don't think that's true. But I do think it's a little overkill when we have 6 who claim 1 year for a national. Like, if there's 6 different teams who claim the national championship in 1914 or 1910 or something like that. Like, there should be, and the problem is the bookkeeping, and it's just hard to track back. But for a while, we were in a good spot where it was the AP poll and the coaches poll. And then they were like, okay, that's kind of stupid. Why don't we actually have a game? And we figured it out from there. And then the BCS came along, and then we have the BCS national championship. And now we have a whole playoff. And the sport is obviously completely different from then. But like, I'm not the kind of person who's like, yes, we need to go back through each of these years, watch the tape, and figure out who actually wins the national championship from these years. Because I like split that. Like, I think that having a split national championship is part of the charm. It is weird that it happened as recently as 1997. It's very odd to think about that way. But it's it's kind of part of the game's history. But if there was like a 3rd and a 4th and a 5th and a 6th team that came in from 1997 and say, hey, we finished first in the Sagarin, or whatever it was, like UCF, their claim to the national championship in 2017 was, what was the poll that they won that year? They put it up in their stadium. Like, they finished number 1 in whatever poll it was. But like, they didn't win the national champion. They can't say one-time national champion because they
Collie Matrix.
The Collie Matrix. Yes. Yeah. There was literally a BCS national title game.
See, I like that. I like the, hey, we finished this. Like, it's clearly tongue in cheek, right? Like, yeah, if you go to UCF, you probably are like, no, we would have beat everybody that, like.
How about that national championship?
Yeah.
That's it. I just, if I saw somebody from UCF, I'd be like, nice national championship, idiot.
Yeah, like it's kind of fun. Whereas the Nebraska, Michigan one's like, I hate them. But it's a fun debate that will never be solved, right? Like, it's quirky, it's fun, it's
over.
Yeah.
It's done.
Some of those people are no longer with us.
But just imagine if there was a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th team that came in and was like, actually, check back the ratings. We finished number 1 in KenPom that year. 1997 football KenPom.
Feels excessive.
Yeah, we did it. National champions. So we don't need to go too overkill. There's a happy medium in there somewhere.
Right.
There's a happy medium in there somewhere. And then you have this, which is a whole different level of psychotic, which is saying, look, we've bit our tongues for long enough. We've been wanting to claim these national championships for decades, and that time is now over.
Praise us for our restraint.
Yeah, like this is actually absurd. Just to put in the stadium, you know, whatever it is now, 8-time national champions, 15-time conference champions. You know, it's but I guess it's just Creighton.
I just love the clear
Hey, you won a
shot.
national championship? Don't ask when, but yeah, we won a national championship.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, remember that?
How many do you got? Yeah. Like I love the clear shot at A&M in the beginning of the letter.
What's the letter? What's the letter say?
It's like you know, it's basically like, hey, we had the restraint that other schools didn't.
Oh, you talk about the story here.
And it's clearly like, hey, Texas A&M, you got a bunch of fake
Now,
natties
to be fair, this
hanging.
is from the Auburn on 3 site. That's who wrote that.
Okay.
Auburn football finally will claim 9 deserving and legitimate college football national championships. What else was going on in the Winsipedia? Finish that thought.
They had a poll for who should be the 1910 national champion. Sadly, with 6 schools claiming the 1910 national championship.
See, that's the crap I'm talking about.
They put it up to a poll. See Results won 1 poll of it was 3 teams and See Results.
I hate when people do See Results polls. Have a take.
That's right. Auburn was in that batch of schools. And then between Pitt, Vandy, Washington, and See Results, Vanderbilt won with 65% of the vote.
But nobody's actually going back and looking at the merits of what Vanderbilt was. They're just like, oh, Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt should win a national title because I think that'd be cool.
If you would, right, that's what's happening. But Winsipedia does lay out the case. Harvard went 9-0-1, outscored their opponents. Whoa, they outscored their opponents 155-5.
Wow.
Tied Yale. And
that's pretty good, Josh.
And beat an all-stars team. Auburn went 6-1, outscored their opponents 176-0 in all their victories, but lost 9-0 to Texas.
Whoa, what an upset.
Yeah. Michigan went 3-0-3. Get the hell out of here. You don't got a case. Pitt went 9-0 and outscored their opponents 282-0.
There are some schools out there who, I mean, have more than one like undisputed national championship. But some schools just claim to have national champions. Maybe that should be the split. Like we should go through all the years and say which national championships were quote unquote undisputed. Right? This was the team, and anybody else who comes in here and tries to claim anything is an idiot. And we disregard the idiots. So you just go through all the years and say, this national championship was undisputed. This was the best team in the country that year. Like that would get rid of a lot. That would get rid of a lot of garbage.
It would.
Throughout the years. Because there's a lot of people who claim a lot of national championships.
So we talk about non-con schedules and how everyone's soft AF and doesn't play anybody. In 1910, 2 schools that claim the national championship, Vanderbilt and Washington. Vanderbilt played and beat 2 high schools. Washington beat 1 high school. Could you imagine if Indiana scheduled Millard South?
Would you put it past dear Mr. Siggs?
I would not. Brett McMurphy did a little research. Between now and 2030, Indiana does not have a Power 4 non-conference game.
Great. And people will laud him because he's ahead of the curve. Look at him.
He's just so smart.
He just really gets it. Kenneth Pancake writes in on
Kenneth Pancake
on Twitter. That could be his name. But Pancake's a name. I will defend UCF 2017 to the death. There is no logical reason why the only undefeated team in a sports league should not be the national champion. That is a good case for it. They won all their games that year. They just didn't make the college football playoff.
Yeah. Because big college football kept them out.
And who did they beat? Whoever did they beat in the Peach Bowl that year? Auburn.
Oh,
Of all the teams, the most chaotic team in all of college football history.
cyclical.
Yeah. I don't know. The case gets really difficult when you have a game.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And especially when you have a playoff to get to the game.
Oh,
right? So
yeah.
you have access theoretically to this. Now, people will say that 2017 UCF opened the door for Cincinnati to make it in, the years following, which that could be true. I don't know. It's all. I think UCF is better off in the position that they're in, as far as their claim to a national championship is concerned. They probably would have got wrecked.
Yeah, never having to prove it.
Scott Frost coaching in a national championship game. Could you imagine?
Exactly.
Could you imagine? But that being said, Auburn was talented. They always are. But famously, Auburn likes to screw stuff up all the time, so you never know. So that is very exciting news in college football. Congratulations to Auburn on their now 9 national championships. So Tommy writes in, he says, so Nebraska has 4 undisputed national championships.
Yes.
Nebraska would have 4 undisputed national championships, yes. They only have 1 split title as 97.
Platcat was wondering if they'll be partying at Toomer's Corner.
Yeah,
today.
Roll it, baby.
Yeah.
So LLH writes in, so which ones does Nebraska claim beyond the 5? Nebraska is, I believe, been one of the schools that doesn't get into that business either. But I think they would have claimed to several more.
Yes, they have.
But all of these, once again, come in like the 10s and the 20s and the 30s when there's like 6 teams a year who claim they won a national championship.
They have 7 unclaimed national championships, 1915, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84. That's a 5, Pete. Nobody's done that before.
Yeah.
And 1993.
But we all know that didn't happen. Like
right,
that didn't exist. Now, if you're applying today's logic to it, if there was a college football playoff, they get a chance to win all those games. Were they the best team in the country any of those years? Probably in a couple of them, yeah.
Should we make a graphic for what the college football playoff would look like in 1982 and say, do you agree?
No. That's where I draw the line, Josh. We will have none of that garbage.
I'm just saying, don't you want some
cleats? No, I don't want any cliques. No clicks. Tommy writes in on the text line.
Hi, Tommy.
Next time someone says Nebraska lives in the past, I'm bringing up Auburn. Oh, yeah? Look at Auburn.
They sat on a natty for 105 years.
Funny enough, that disaster of a program is probably closer than Nebraska currently is to winning a national championship. It's weird how that works. Once again, the Marlins of college football.
That's right.
That is a great take by you, Josh.
Thank you.
Pedro writes in.
Hi, Pedro.
It says, hi, guys. I will defend to my death. Nebraska 1983 was the best team that year. Yeah. I mean, it's just, you would make the same case for 83 Nebraska as you would for 17 UCF. They were the best team in the country. And how do we know that wasn't the case?
Many people asking us to shout out 1998 Tulane, so we will do that. Go Green Wave.
Yeah, Sam's all over this. Tulane football 1998 national champions. The Green Wave finished 12-0 and ranked number 7. Only Louisville came within a single-digit margin to Tulane. Shout out to my boys from Tulane. Absolutely. Those are my guys. I oftentimes think about 1998 Tulane.
All right. That's a bold question. Do you oftentimes think of 1998 Tulane?
I don't. Now, I'm different from most. Like, I don't need a standard. I don't need an industry standard on this. I like college football's messy, weirdo path, but I just think it's very odd to say it in here, the year of our Lord, 2025. Actually, we're going to go back after years and years of claiming this, not claiming this. We are now going to claim it. And by the way, 5 other teams have already claimed it for that year. Just to be able to say, we now have 9 national championships, but nobody respects any national championship that anybody won after 1940 or before 1940.
Right. It has to be post World War II for me to even like hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I always say when the sport was integrated. Like,
you have said that.
that is seems like a logical place to start. It's relatively modern. The bookkeeping is modern-ish, and stuff like that. And there's more to go off of. Everybody was trying, right? You could play teams that weren't inside of your geographical region. Like, you didn't have to take a cross-country week-long train ride and play Penn State and Rutgers 2 days in a row, to play football games or anything like that. Like, no, they're actual football players.
Well, the only team near us is the Omaha YMCA.
And we played them 9 times, beat them 140-0 every single time. How did we not win the national championship? We played our schedule. All right, quick timeout. Brian Rosen, Creighton Volleyball coach, is up on the other side. I am excited to talk actual volleyball with Coach Rosen, something that has not been talked about a lot here in the preseason. So we'll do that after the break on 1620 The Zone. All right, welcome back. More of the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Odson with you. It is indeed volleyball season. And the Creighton Blue Jays, coming off an excellent season last year, went through a lot of change in the offseason. They start this year with the same opponent that they finished last year with. That'll be Saturday in Lincoln. And we're now joined, that's Penn State, by the way. We're now joined on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline by new coach Brian Rosen, the Creighton Blue Jays. Coach, thanks for doing this. What's going on?
Not much, Connor. Thanks for having me. There's not a lot going on this week, I guess. So I'm glad to find some time for you.
No, we're always happy to make room because once again, you saved my car from the hit and run back in, what was that, May, April?
Just trying to help everyone out. Yeah, that was a crazy day. I had no idea it was yours, and just a small world kind of thing.
Yep. So put it on the resume. Definitely a good Samaritan. Also put this on the resume. So at the exhibition on Saturday against Colorado State, we did a little Brian Rosen trivia, and the last question, we were kind of getting to know you a little bit. The last question was, what's the favorite topping on the pizza for Coach? And I think it was, the options were sausage, pepperoni, and pineapple. And the kid who was playing guessed sausage, and he thought he had it in the bag. And to everyone's surprise, the answer was pineapple. I believe this marked the first time that you were booed, at least a little bit, by the fans of your own team.
Yeah, tough crowd. I've always talked about how welcoming the Omaha and the Creighton community has been to me, and yeah, first sign of adversity, and they just went right to booing. That was tough. So I grew up in a household where I couldn't eat pork and I couldn't mix dairy and meat, so my toppings were limited as a kid, and I do love pineapple on a pizza, so I'm standing by it even with the booze.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you have to at this point. Like you're committed to it. You can't. It'd be even worse if you were just like, actually, you know what? We're going to something different. So yeah, you're making the right choice. Let's talk about some volleyball as the season starts on Saturday, and we'll get to that and how much that that specific team and that specific match has been on your guys' mind. But it's good to know your team a little bit. Like going into this season last year, everyone, and you were an assistant last year, everyone knew kind of what the heart of the team was going to be, right? They had returners that have been there for such a long time. Talk about the next wave of players that you have and how they've kind of stepped up, taken that torch and taken it to the next level so far.
Yeah, I just think, last year we were able to kind of hang our hat on experience, which made some training a little bit easier and some practice a little easier. I think, now we get to hang our hat on being new and doing things different, obviously with new coach and lots of new athletes. And so we've been able to run some things differently, kind of change like kind of what our mantra was this year. And, the team came up with that on their own. And so grit has kind of been the thing that they've really built this preseason on. And they've been so great with that. The energy in the gym has been like you can feel it when you're in there, and that's something I've just been so proud of the group all preseason. They just work really, really hard, relentless on defense. Points are hard to come by in our gym, and that's been really fun.
How have you sort of approached like the leadership part of it with everybody? With the changeover, but also there's a lot of familiar faces still on this group as well. How have those girls kind of taken that piece of it, like I said, taking it to the next level? And then how have you approached it, given like that, like you said, it does feel a little bit different from how it was a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, I give a lot of credit to Coach Booth and to Angie for just historically creating such an incredible culture here at Creighton to where, yes, I know everyone gives a lot of credit to Nora and Kendra and some of our seniors last year, but they were taught great leadership by the seniors that were before them and the seniors that were before them. And so now, like, we have a great group of seniors that learned so much from Nora and Kendra. And obviously Kiara's a sixth year who predates even Nora and Kendra. And so she brings such a high level of leadership to our gym, that everyone calls her like the team mom. Like, she's making sure everyone's getting the right things and in the right places, but then also holds our team to an incredibly high standard. And Sky and Ava are two seniors that have been here for all 4 years that lead in very different ways. And then Anna is a new senior to our team, but so much experience and leadership, and brings a joy and a voice to our gym that we definitely needed.
I want to go through a couple of members of your team here. Like, you start when you look at, the returners and the accolades. I mean, you start with Ava Martin. Does she probably still not get talked about enough for how just consistently good she's been throughout her career?
We'll hope that everyone just keeps overlooking.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
She's been such a phenomenal player her whole career, and obviously, Nora had an injury thing during a time, and our team didn't skip a beat because of what she was able to bring. And even, Destiny came off the bench at that time and was able to bring a lot to our team. Ava just has gotten better and better and better every year. And yeah, I think because Nora was here, and, we had, arguably the best setter in the country on our team. And so she kind of just got overlooked a little by some people, and I think everyone knows how great she is as a player and as a person, and but I'm really excited for her to kind of get a little bit more spotlight, and I know people are starting to talk about her more than they have before, and I think people are going to realize how good of an overall volleyball player she is here pretty quickly.
How good is Jaya Johnson going to be?
Man, she's really good. Obviously brings just incredible size to the front row. She is such a good blocker, really fast arm, and I think she was good all year last year and was great in the postseason. Yep. I mean, she really took on a ton of load in the Texas match and in the Penn State match, and so we're excited that she has such big game experience as we start this season, playing pretty much all big games. And so, yeah, definitely doesn't shy away from the moment. Loves to, put balls down really hard. And so I think, as teams, put their attention in different places, I think she's going to really go off for us this season.
So when you sort of started this journey, and I think there was a little, sort of overlap with, you and Kirsten still kind of putting the roster together for this upcoming year, you think about what you were missing and what you needed. You went out and got a couple huge transfer portal additions. You mentioned a couple of them already, but Anna Lamater is going to be a factor for you guys. And then Eloise Brandewie as well. Like when you identified those two players, what stood out and how have they sort of fit into what you guys are doing right away?
Yeah, we knew we needed depth in some positions. And so middle was a big one for us. And Eloise, when she came on the portal, we knew how good she was. She had 2 years of starting experience in the Big Ten. She is a phenomenal blocker. I think one of the most disciplined players I've ever coached. She just does everything the right way, and brings joy to the gym. Like, holds herself accountable, and so that's been great. And then Anna, she actually, I think, was our first commit of all the transfers, but was the last to get here just because she was grad transfer and still had a semester to finish at Cal. And so she was the only player on our team that was not here this spring. So that was a little unfortunate for her not to get those reps. But as soon as she got here this fall, or really this summer, she's been in the gym all the time. Again, leadership, experience. I think she can make all the sets. She's offensive in the front row, and something we were worried about with losing Kendra is just her blocking ability, her defensive abilities, and Anna has shown the ability to be really good in those areas as well. And Sage was another addition that we knew we needed to add some depth in that position. And again, Big Ten experience, was a top libero recruit in the country. So she's been someone that's come in and added a voice to our gym and energy, and she's just a really good backcourt player.
When you're looking for players, and whether it be in the portal or in the recruiting front, like since you already know the established kind of culture at Creighton and what it's like, and you're looking for certain things, does that make it easier or more difficult to identify those traits in what you're looking for, and then to imagine how they sort of fit into your program? Because it feels like every time you guys get a new player, it's like, oh yeah, they're a great fit automatically. That's just the thing that I notice every single time.
Yeah, I think it makes it maybe a little bit more difficult, but for all the right reasons. That we have definitely eliminated athletes from our recruiting list because they don't fit the culture piece that we're looking for, as far as being great teammates and being team first, and being open to not being guaranteed a starting spot, because that's something really big for us in recruiting, is that we never promise that to anyone, and not every athlete can handle that. And so, yes, that eliminates some people in recruiting, but it allows us to get the right fits. And we've been very fortunate to bring in so many incredible transfers during my time here who have made impacts, whether they were starters or role players.
Brian Rosen, Creighton Volleyball, is with us. How good was it to shake the nerves off, or kind of whatever it was on Saturday in the exhibition? You mentioned afterwards how it was maybe a little shaky at the beginning of sets and then right near the end of sets. Like, was that good to sort of go through as a sort of dress rehearsal for you guys?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And just so good for our team to play in front of a crowd. And we had a great crowd at the game. Even like our students came out, and they were only freshmen on campus at that time. And we had a great MC there. So yeah, I thought it was great for just to play in front of a crowd, because obviously we're going to have a pretty big one surrounding us on Saturday. So just to kind of get some of those nerves of serving in front of that environment, passing in that environment, handling some adversity, and being forced to make, in-game adjustments. Within practice, you kind of get into a groove. And it's nice for us as coaches to see, okay, like, we think the things we're doing are going to be really effective against somebody else, but are they? So that was great. And again, in our gym, like, our defense has been extraordinary. And so it was nice to see, okay, like, it is really good. Because Colorado State is a really good team. They made the NCAA tournament last year. We fully expect that they'll make the NCAA tournament again this year. They really struggled to score against us. And so it was good to see that what we're doing in our gym is going to be really effective against other teams.
What's the prep been like for this match in particular? It's unique in like 500 different ways. It's a weekend where it's just Penn State. It's the first match of the season. It's a bigger arena. It's a big event. It's the team that ended your season last year. Like, there's a bunch of different stuff going on here. How unique has the prep been for the defending national champs here?
Yeah, I think just unique in the timing as well. Normally we'd have like one more week until we'd have to like play our first match. And like today was our kids' first day of school, and we would normally always give them practice off this day, but with a game in 3 days, like we kind of need to practice still. And so I think just trying to get ready a little bit quicker is something that's been a little bit different this off season compared to others. And then as far as just preparing for this match specifically, I think fans will learn that there'll be a few different rule things, even like how they're doing timeouts and how they're doing switches, and even they're using a different ball than we would normally use. So just trying to get our team like ready and prepared for all of those things, so there's no shocks this Saturday. So I think those are some big things. And then as we start this week, we're going to start kind of game planning for specific things that we think Penn State will throw our way. I know we're talking about, we play the same team we finished last year with, but I think we lost 7 players from that team, and they've lost quite a few as well. So even though it's the same opponent, we're both very different than we were last year. And even Texas and Kansas, who we play second and third, will be very different than the teams that we played last year.
I would imagine that motivation still remains the same, though, given it's that same team and it's the same uniform. How much has that been a talking point since you knew this match, was going to happen?
I haven't talked about it very much. I have to imagine our team does. And so, yes, I think it's definitely a factor to play them again, and to be able to showcase our talents and kind of just get over that hump. But I just think anytime we play against any of these, top 25 type teams, especially these top 5 teams, I think it adds a little extra motivation to show that we belong. And last year we fell, was it 1 spot away from being a top 4 seed and getting a host. And so these are the kind of games that you have to win in order to put yourself in that spot.
All right, so you've talked quite a lot about the challenges in the non-conference play here. It hits you hard on Saturday. Texas and Kansas coming up next weekend. A couple ranked teams going to the West Coast. I mean, there's a lot as you sort of map it out. Do you do that game by game, or is it sort of like each thing you get you sort of evaluate where you're at and move on to the next one? How do you approach it when it's this kind of nonstop wave of tough competition early, and they're really, really important for you guys?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, we always talk to the team every year about how RPI works and the importance of why we schedule the way that we do. And also making sure they understand that, if we play Penn State this weekend and both teams play great and maybe we fall a point short or a set short or whatever, it's not the end of the world. Like, we're going to get another opportunity next week and the next week. And like, this preseason is all about putting ourselves in the best possible place for hopeful postseason play. So we want to host the first 2 rounds. We'd love to host the first 4 rounds. So these kind of matches give us the best chance to do those things. And then in the end, like, we want to be playing in the NCAA tournament. And so making sure our team understands like what puts us in the best place to get there. And then with them, we really talk one game at a time. Like we don't ever scout or prepare for matches ahead. As a coaching staff, we are looking ahead and making sure that our team is ready for things. So maybe if we're playing a certain team this week and then the following week, we're going to see something really specific, every now and then in practices, we'll kind of mix a few of those things in. So, our team's a little more prepared for those when they come.
All right, Coach. So you're trying to, for the Nebraska match coming up in a few weeks at the CHI, trying to get an attendance record going here. I know you've gotten great support from Creighton season ticket holders and then the general public already. It sounds like things are looking pretty good for a big crowd that night. What's that one going to be like?
Again, I just think it's such a great showcase for volleyball in the state, and I just love that our two programs are able to kind of represent for everybody. I love that it's going to be on national TV, and everyone's just going to get a chance to see just how good volleyball is here. And I love, both of our teams, we have players from all over the country, but so much Nebraska and Midwest representation on our rosters. And so I love that. And yes, I think every volleyball record should be here in Nebraska. So I know we have the outdoor volleyball record. I think last year the Supernovas for professional had the highest attendance in the world, I believe, for their average attendance. And so we've always had the regular season indoor record here in Nebraska, and we lost that a couple years ago. And so now that we have the game back here at CHI, where we have an arena big enough to break it, we hope our fans, the state of Nebraska fans, will all come out and fill that place at 18,000.
All right, Coach. Great stuff as always. Good to catch up, and good luck this weekend. Can't wait to watch you guys.
Thanks for having me. See you soon.
Brian Rosen, head coach of the Creighton Blue Jays, who are preseason number 12 and show up at the AVCA First Serve Showcase. Go ahead, Josh.
Honk, honk.
I get it.
I was waiting for a national pause.
I'm also excited for a big home match with Louisville. That's at Sokol. I mean, it's going to be popping in there. That'll be rolling.
That is going to be loud.
Yeah. Yes. It's loud if it's just you yelling to yourself in DJ Sokol Arena, but just imagine if there's 3,000 of you yelling and screaming all at the same time.
Like the sound of that.
All right.
3,000 of me.
Thanks to Coach again for joining us. And we'll do that periodically throughout the season and catch up with the Jays. All right. Quick timeout. Back after this to round out the hour. Don't forget, we're going to talk Minnesota football at the top of the hour. Stay tuned on 1620 The Zone.
You made me do this. This is on you, producer Josh.
The Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
The Zone Hotline is powered by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more.
Lincoln Park is headed to Omaha. The Zero World Tour with special guest Gene Dawson is coming up on next Friday, August 29th at the Chai, which might soon hold an indoor regular season volleyball attendance record.
Whoa.
Listen to this show or the show after us on 1620 The Zone to win your chance to win your way in. And, of course, you can find more details for Lincoln Park on 1620thezone.com. Josh, recruiting alert.
Oh, recruiting alert.
Yeah, this is this one's off the beaten path a little bit.
Okay.
But
that's where you find the diamonds in the rough.
Every once in a while, somebody will commit somewhere and the graphic is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe the
Hayes Fawcett gets in his bag. And...
Yeah. In this case, the graphic provides an avenue in which people are learning about the name of this young man.
Oh, is this Noah?
No.
Okay.
We know about him. No
better.
pun intended. He plays for Eastern Michigan and he's doing merch. Do not buy that hat. Do not buy that hat.
Okay.
No, this young man, 5-star running back in the class of 2026, the number one running back in the class of 2026, according to Rivals, Savion Hyder.
Okay, Savion Hyder.
H-I-T-R. Or H-I-T-E-R, I'm sorry. H-I-T-E-R.
Careful.
H-I-T-E-R.
Mustache Adam says, I don't think the Michigan guy would like the Eastern Michigan guy. That's right.
I do not think they would like
They would not get along.
If they are what their historical correspondents, say about them. The 5-star running back, Savion Hyder, H-I-T-E-R, chose Michigan over Tennessee, Ohio State, and Georgia. I was wondering why this was popping up so much on my thing earlier, and I'm like, what's the deal here?
There's a 5-star running back,
It's got
Connor.
1,000 retweets. It's got
Whoa.
400,000 views. This was tweeted just over 2 hours ago. And then I read it, and I go, that'll do it. That will do it. By the way, we were talking about what ifs for college football playoffs from a long time ago. What was that?
Designated Hitler.
That's what I was trying to do.
All
Sorry.
that for that?
I know.
What was that? What did you play before? I don't want to hear it again. It was scary.
Designer Timmy Turner.
I don't know what that is.
It's 2.5 minutes long.
That's a whole song.
That is.
Okay.
Designated Hitler.
That's good. That's not his name, though. It's Hyder.
Hyder, of course.
So thanks to Sam, I always love these brackets. They're great. I look at them every time, and I don't get triggered any of the times. He set up the bracket for the potential 1910 college football playoff.
Hell yes.
Buys are Vanderbilt, Harvard, Pittsburgh, and Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
And then also in the playoff, Illinois, Washington, Center College, Louisiana Tech, Colorado College, and Wabash College, and USC.
A lot of Big Ten in this field. I like it.
Yes. I like Wabash at the 10 seed to make a run here.
Mm-hmm.
They would have to take down mighty Harvard on their way to the semifinals. But
Well,
I believe
Harvard hadn't played nobody this year.
Exactly.
I did the 1944 field.
Uh-huh.
While you were talking to
what do you got,
Coach
Josh?
Rosen. The buys in 1944, remind you, go to Army, Ohio State, Randolph Field.
There we go.
And Navy. You got Tennessee versus Bainbridge NTS. Notre Dame versus Michigan. Could I interest anyone in that opening playoff game?
No, that sounds stupid. Give me the other ones.
Duke, Iowa pre-flight.
Yes.
That would be at Iowa pre-flight, by the way.
That's what I'm talking. Wow, on campus games.
Yeah, and March Field versus USC.
Is there ever an argument for Creighton to make any playoff games?
Oh, when did they cease operation?
I feel like I remember this every year and then immediately forget it.
1942.
So they went 1895 to 1942.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a list of seasons here? Okay, here we go.
1938, they went 6-1-1.
Okay, 06, they went 7-2.
Okay.
1918, they went 3-0-0. 1919, they went 4-0-2. They went back-to-back seasons undefeated.
1921, 8-1.
Okay, so they definitely have some claims to some national champion. They would have made somebody do the 1918 or 19 college football playoff and just let me know what you get. Creighton's probably like 2 seed in that. Could you imagine? All right, quick break. Ryan Burns is up on the other side. The Minnesota Golden Gophers. They're coached by PJ Fleck.
People forget.
People like that guy, right? We'd love PJ Fleck. Malachi Coleman plays for them.
I did forget that.
They have a guy who plays both offense and defense.
Travis
Troy
Hunter?
Parrish. Yeah. No, not Travis Hunter. White Travis Hunter.
That's what we'll call him.
I just made that up. I like it, though. Back after this to talk some Minnesota in 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
This summer, drive into your next adventure with a new vehicle from Woodhouse Ford. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are here to help you find the right vehicle for your lifestyle. Browse our inventory online or visit us in store at one of our 3 locations in Blair, Omaha, and Plattsmouth.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Welcome back. We're the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. As God intended, Nebraska and Minnesota will meet again in 2025, this time on October 17th, which is a Friday in Minneapolis. Let's talk about the Gophers, and we're joined now by Ryan Burns of the Minnesota 24/7 Sports site. Ryan, thanks for doing this again. Appreciate it. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm glad to be back on, considering last year the powers that be in the heavenly skies said that Nebraska and Minnesota couldn't meet. But I'm glad it's back on the main menu this year, especially a Friday night game on Fox.
I can't believe it. I can't believe they separated us. That was wrong of them. That had been a long. I mean, they had played every year or just about every year since Nebraska's been in the Big Ten, right? I'll pull it up right now, but I think it was basically every year.
Essentially since PJ Fleck has been here, certainly. And I would tell you there's maybe no team on the schedule that PJ Fleck looks forward to more than the Nebraska Cornhuskers, considering I believe in the 7 meetings between the two teams, the Gophers are 6-1.
Yep, I believe that is correct. So, yeah, they played in – so Nebraska joined the league in 11. They played 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, but not 24. Unbelievable. So we're back again, and I always love the trip to Minneapolis, especially right around this time of the year, although I've said that before, and I do specifically recall a game in 2019 when they played in October, and it was like sleeting and raining and cold all night, and Nebraska got steamrolled 34-7, and Scott Frost complained 2 weeks later that his team was wearing hoodies on the game before. So yes, there is some history between these two teams.
Yes, there certainly is. And for whatever the reason, PJ Fleck just knows how to get his team ready for Nebraska in terms of being able to hype up the 18 to 23-year-old individuals that are now inhabiting the sport of college football and getting them to, I would say, at least play their B game or A game against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. I think that plays a large role in why Minnesota is 6-1 in the last 7 tries against Nebraska. When I think a lot of these, it's been very evenly matched. I think back to that 2023 game to open the season, of which I think both teams wish they could have back at certain moments. And Tyler Nubin from Minnesota comes up with a big interception of, I believe it was Sims,
Jeff
the quarterback,
Sims,
to start the 2023 season.
Indeed, he was, Ryan. Yes.
Well, it's a good thing that I think when you look at the meeting this year between the two teams, I think there's a very realistic scenario that both teams could be at 5-1, maybe 6-0 coming into this meeting Friday night in Minneapolis, of which I think there would be, certainly on the national television stage, a lot of hubbub about in terms of 2 second-year quarterbacks in Dylan Raiola versus what Minnesota finds out that they have in Drake Lindsey. But it is going to be a fascinating year for both teams with second-year quarterbacks and trying to kind of say, can we get out of this tier of the Big Ten where Nebraska makes a bowl game last year for the first time in a while. Minnesota's trying to prove that they can be more than a team that is a consistent 6, 7, 8 win team, of which they've been here the last 5 years. But it is kind of a fascinating look at both teams.
What have been the returns on Drake Lindsey here in this fall camp? Is he the guy to sort of boost the offense and take it to the next level, or what's expected of him this year?
That's a great question because first-year starting quarterbacks for Minnesota, outside of Max Brosmer last year, who's kind of the exception to the rule considering his veteran status coming over from New Hampshire, you look at some of the first-year quarterbacks, such as Tanner Morgan to Ethan Kaliak-Manis to, if you really want to go further back, to the Mitch Leidner and even Adam Weber days, their stats at the end of the year haven't been too kind. I mean, I talk about 4 quarterbacks right there that I think ended up having pretty good careers in Minnesota, and none of them completed more than 58% of their passes in their first year as a starter. Specifically, Ethan a couple of years ago really struggled. And that's where I know there's a lot of Gopher fans who have heard that this staff is high on Drake Lindsey, and I'll be the first to tell you that they are. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. I've listened to them all off season, and now I kind of want to see if the proof is in the pudding. And I think realistic expectations for him are somewhere probably around a 61, 62% completion percentage and hopefully a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. And I think Nebraska fans would know better than anybody, considering what they had to go through with kind of the ups and down nature of a young quarterback last year in Dylan Raiola. And you're going to have some moments that are going to get you excited. You're going to have some moments where you're like, that's a young quarterback learning what he can and cannot get away with in the Big Ten, which I would argue that the Big Ten and the SEC certainly are in their own stratosphere compared to the rest of college football now. But if Drake Lindsey has the processor that Max Brosmer has, which there's been a lot of talk here from the Gopher coaches throughout the offseason that he has, Minnesota could be cooking with something over here.
Well, Darius Taylor is the focal point, the centerpiece of the offense. They've done quite a bit in the offseason to, rebuild a wide receiver room and then a new quarterback. The picture in its entirety, obviously, it's tough to say when the quarterback is a bit of a question mark, or at least you don't know what you're going to get there. But as you look at the big picture on offense, what do you see this year from a group that, probably, it didn't all come together for them last year?
No, it didn't. Specifically with the running game, they were maddeningly inconsistent, where from drive to drive, game to game, certainly, where they could have USC come to town and they pound the rock on the Trojans, and then they head out to the Rose Bowl the next week to take on UCLA, and they struggle to run the football. Or they pound the ball against Illinois in Champaign, which the Gophers were the only team to beat Illinois in Champaign last year. And then they go to Piscataway the next week and they lay an egg, especially in the run game. So that's been a big focal point for them all offseason, because with a young quarterback, it's tied to the run game. You want to be able to hide the quarterback at times and be able to kind of work in the run action and the play action. And Darius Taylor is going to be a gigantic part of this offense. And he's coming off a season in which he caught over 50 passes, which was the best in the Big Ten for running backs, had over 1,300 all-purpose yards. He was able to stay healthy, which was a huge thing for him. He played in 12 consecutive games for Minnesota. But it's now, how can we pair Darius Taylor and a couple of the transfers that they brought in as well, A.J. Turner from Marshall and then Cam Davis from Washington? How can we pair the run game with the young quarterback and have it all work in tandem? And which, by the way, you've got 5 brand new starters on the offensive line, which that's going to be the biggest question mark to both the ceiling and the floor of this Gopher season to me is, how does your revamped offensive line, which lost over 100 starts from last season in terms of the amount of experience that they had, the amount of talent that they have, how does that pair together with Darius Taylor and Drake Lindsey? I know that there's obviously some optimism. 'Tis the season here in mid to late August, I think, for every college football team. But the proof will be in the pudding on Saturdays, and how that offensive line gels together and how quickly is going to be something to watch.
Defensively, there's always the expectation that it's going to be pretty dang good for the Gophers. More than that, they always seem to find a player or two that end up budding into superstars, and the next one is clearly on the way in Coy Parrish. He is at the top of that defense. I mean, what are you expecting out of that group this year, and Parrish specifically making that jump into his sophomore year?
Yeah, Minnesota's going to be on their 3rd defensive coordinator in 3 years, considering Michigan State went out and had more money than Minnesota to get Joe Rossi. And then last January, after signing an extension in December, Corey Heatherman bolted for the South Beach area. Now he's the defensive coordinator for Miami of Florida. So now comes in 33-year-old Danny Collins, of which I believe he is the 2nd youngest defensive coordinator in the Big Ten now, behind Purdue's defensive coordinator. And it's largely going to be the same schematically, but Minnesota lost a lot of key players from last year's defense, guys that played a lot of football like Justin Wally, Cody Lindenberg, Jod Joyner, Danny Strigow. And it's how can they kind of trying to put Coy Parrish in the safety group, which should be among the best in the Big Ten. How can you put them in spots to make plays? Now, Minnesota returns a defensive lineman by the name of Anthony Smith, of which is probably coming off what I would say among the quietest 11.5 tackle for loss seasons that I can remember in the Big Ten, of which not a lot of people are talking about Anthony Smith and the way that he's able to change the game. if Minnesota can have some guys on the defensive line, such as Anthony Smith and Devin Eastern and Jalen Logan Redding, all guys returning for their third years as the starter and probably their final season, it's something to where that's going to help the rest of the defense figure out their roles. I think you're going to see Minnesota play as many sub packages as we've seen in a while, considering they have a lot of guys that they like, but they're trying to hide weaknesses and play to guys' strengths. So there's a lot of unknown with this defense yet. We know what it's going to look like schematically, but who steps up to be the next guys to help Coy Parrish, to help Anthony Smith, is something we're going to be finding out in September.
Obviously, the answer here is TBD. We'll see it when we see it. But how real is the buzz about Parrish playing offense?
It's real. I mean, I think that when you see Dave Revson of Big Ten Network kind of comparing him to Travis Hunter, I think that workload is something that I probably won't see in my lifetime again, considering what Travis Hunter presents as he is a very, very special athlete, something we probably haven't seen since, Deion Sanders and some of the other types. I think more of a Jabril Peppers type of role.
Oh,
you think
yeah,
back
good one.
a few years ago for what he did for Michigan. And when you look at it, he only played about 50 snaps on offense. Now, if I had to put an over-under for Coy Parrish snaps on offense, I'd probably put it around 100 or so, which comes out to a drive or two a game. He's going to have a package or two in each and every game as he can handle it. But that's another part of what we're going to see is what can Coy Parrish handle? Can he be a full-time safety, also play 10 snaps on offense, and then be a game changer for them in the return game, which has struggled mightily for largely the entire PJ Fleck era? How much Coy Parrish can handle, they believe they know, but I've learned long ago that what people think they know and what actually happens on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays in college football nowadays are very different. But I do think the Coy Parrish playing offense, you're going to see that quite a bit here in September.
When you sort of bundle all that together, you pair it along with the schedule, which is, I would say, generally manageable outside of a trip to Columbus and a trip to Autzen Stadium in Eugene. Those are tricky, and obviously there's the rest of the kind of Big Ten slate, which there's going to be a bunch of close games. You tie it all together. I mean, what does this need to be for PJ Fleck this year? You talked about how it was a big year earlier. Do they need to get to a certain number for you to say, hey, we're taking the next step here?
That's an outstanding question. It's one I've been wrestling with here myself now that we're single-digit days away from Minnesota's opener, is what are realistic expectations? And you look at the Vegas line, it's about 6.5 in most places still, of which I would tell you Vegas has probably been a game too low on Minnesota the last handful of seasons, as Minnesota's hit the over pretty consistently here of late. But I just think the home schedule for Minnesota is going to tell us so much about what this team can be. And Nebraska is a big part of that, because you have what I term, say, coin flip games for Minnesota, where I can see it going either way. It's that Nebraska game at home. You have Wisconsin, of which I feel for Luke Fickell, considering the crazy nature of that schedule, where essentially from the third game on for Luke Fickell and that team, where they have to travel to Tuscaloosa, there is no break all the way until the very end of the season, of which I'll be the first to tell you, I'm skeptical that the Dairy Raid going from what they tried to be to now a 2 and 3 tight end team again, getting that accomplished in one off season.
Yeah, a little sketchy.
I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Wisconsin miss a bowl game for the second time in as many years. But it's that Wisconsin game, that Nebraska game, even Michigan State and Rutgers, of which are sneaky games for Minnesota, that you've got a lot of narratives between PJ Fleck, Greg Schiano, both of Rutgers coordinators PJ Fleck has employed here at Minnesota. You've got Ethan Callie-McManus returning to Minnesota for the first time. And we're all human beings, and we all get spun up in certain aspects of that, or even Joe Rossi and that second-year Jonathan Smith team returning to Minneapolis. If you told me in that 4-game stretch there for Minnesota of Rutgers, Nebraska, Michigan State, and Wisconsin, they went 3-1, I'd tell you this should be an 8-win team. If they go 1-3, you can make your own deductions there. But it's taking care of business at home is going to dictate what realistic things are for PJ Fleck in year 9.
Boy, that sounds like a very familiar conversation. That's a lot like what the ones we're having around down here. All right, as always, it's going to be a fun one when these two teams meet up. Ryan, it's always good to talk to you, man. Appreciate it, and we'll talk in just a couple months when we meet again.
Sounds good. I appreciate the time.
Ryan Birds, check out his coverage, Minnesota 24/7 sports site. I believe, isn't that the Gopher Hole?
I don't know.
No, that's not the Gopher Hole. I apologize. Minnesota 24/7. It is Gopher Illustrated. Gopher Illustrated.
That's less fun.
I love that game. I love when those two teams play each other.
You said they didn't play last year, and I sort of scoffed to
Isn't
myself.
that hard to
I was like,
believe?
no, they play every year,
Yeah,
Connor.
idiot. They played last year. Of course they did. No, they played every year since Nebraska's been in the Big Ten, aside from last year. I think it's a fun road trip. There's proximity there. They view college football in like vastly different ways. And as Ryan said, like PJ's got no problem motivating those guys to play Nebraska. That's a real life thing.
He gets the job done, doesn't he?
That is a real life thing. So prior to playing Nebraska this year, they will have 3 conference games: Rutgers, at Ohio State, and home against Purdue. They also have a trip out to Cal in the third week of the season. That'll be the
ACC
week.
powerhouse Cal.
ACC powerhouse Cal. That'll be the week that Nebraska plays Houston Christian, so you can get home from that game and watch it. It starts at 9:30.
Hell yeah.
p.m. And then another West Coast road trip to take on Oregon on a Friday night late in the year. Of course, Minnesota likes playing all the days that are not Saturday.
That's right.
Classic.
They'll do it.
They will indeed. They love playing on Fridays, especially at home. When we return, let's sneak in a quick MLB reaction, overreaction.
A lot of talk about this Manfred guy.
Yeah, what's baseball hater Rob Manfred up to today? Find out next on 1620 The Zone. actually do that, Josh? Could I live in Italy and do this radio show still? Just on StreamYard in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you got to keep up with the topics.
I'm
like,
interested.
That's on you. That's on you.
I mean, you could do everything. You could, watch all the press conferences from my computer anyway.
Yeah.
But I could do it all while eating delicious pizza that doesn't make you sick and drinking wine and looking at the views, things like that. Eating sandwiches on the street for small amounts of dollars. I'm interested in moving to Italy.
It's 8:30 at night in Florence, Italy right
I'd
now.
just be doing like an evening show.
Yeah.
Check out my daily evening show.
Daily evening show.
Sun would set behind me as I'm
That'd
doing
be a great
my
shot.
show.
If we could get that shot every day,
that would be pretty funny.
Really be good for the geeks.
Okay, I'm interested. Just putting that out there.
Okay.
MLB reaction, overreaction. We got about 10, 15 minutes here. So what are the writers cooking today?
Great question. Take number one from the writers. Is noted baseball hater Rob Manfred talking about realignment, or is he talking about realignment?
Okay, so here's what Manfred said during the Little League broadcast. The Little League, what do they call that? The Little League game. The Williamsburg game.
Yeah.
Quote, I think if we expand, it provides us an opportunity to geographically realign. Now, what does he mean by that?
Great question.
Does he mean that they want to realign, or does that mean that they want to realign? The realign, italicized, is you blow everything up and you put teams in geographical divisions. So the Yankees and the Mets are in the same division. The Dodgers and the Angels are in the same division. The Royals and the Cardinals are in the same division, probably with like the two Chicago. I've seen the ones that have been thrown out there. The two Chicago teams are in the same division, along with St. Louis and Kansas City. You throw out all the AL, NL. I mean, you still have AL, NL, but they're just all completely different now. And you have 8 4-team divisions with 32 teams. And of course, this doesn't happen. None of this happens until the A's and the Rays get their stadiums and they're entrenched in their cities and then there is 2 expansion teams. And that's been talked about over the last couple of days. Nashville would be highly likely to get a team.
Right.
Salt Lake City would likely be the other one. So then you could pair them up with Colorado and Arizona or something, and do a division that way. So I hope that they don't do that. That's very radical. And I'm just not a very radical guy.
For a sport that is baked in, hey, this is kind of the way we've done it for the last 100 years. Yeah. It would be weird to just.
I understand teams have changed leagues over the years, and there's been change, like the Astros, the Brewers, everybody's changed leagues and divisions have changed over the years. We've added teams, and everything's different than it used to be, and it's cyclical and whatever. But that is just a big bomb on everything.
If we're still going to play everybody every year, what's the point? We're not trying to save gas money by keeping like the I-95 teams together and keeping the Florida teams in the same division. Like what?
I don't know.
What's the idea?
I don't know what the draw is. Like outside of just that, they're closer to each other. But I think part of the draw of watching a White Sox Cubs game is that they don't play very often.
Yeah.
And
granted, yes.
Part of the draw is to the Subway Series is that they don't play very often. And
John Bishop in the chat going, they used to never play, guys, and it was pretty great.
Yeah, it is. And then it was really cool when they played once a year, or in the World Series or something like that, right? So, no, thank you, Rob Manfred.
I don't
add your 2 teams and then retire.
Ooh, yeah.
He's supposed to retire at the end of the decade. But he will see.
Set for yourself.
He will see. No, there's something with his. Didn't he say he was going to retire in 29 or something like that? He was like, "Yeah, I'm going to retire." So he wants to see this disaster through. And this is 2 more expansion teams, and that the A's and the Rays get their damn stadium.
I just don't
A's
think
move to
anyone's
Vegas.
asking for this.
No, I don't think anybody is outside of Nashville. You have to
Hey,
give Nashville what they want.
Let's make our regional sport more regional. Like, what if?
Yeah.
What if we just?
What's next? They're all on the same network.
Yeah.
They're all sharing planes. Stupid.
Take number 2 from the writers.
Oh crap!
I'll read it very slow.
Yeah, you got it. It's fine.
This is from the writers.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Throwing a bat at a pitcher out of frustration is an underutilized move.
Let's check the tape.
That is
They're lined out to Halter at third.
This
Back
is
in inning
Victor
number 1.
Robles for the
First pitch
Tacoma.
from Estes. Swung on and fouled off on a pitch that hit him.
Oh!
He picks up the bat and throws it at Estes. He's been tossed. He is yelling at Joey Estes, and now he runs towards the mound. Now just kind of watching him.
Had several articles.
And now
the Chinooks.
He's through more stuff. He's on rehab, I believe. Victor Robles is. That is the Tacoma Rainiers, the AAA affiliate of the Seattle Mariners. He was mad, and he apologized, I believe, on Instagram today or yesterday, because he was growing frustrated because he had been hit 5 times in 15 at bats. Admittedly, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. But you don't really see I got hit by a pitch and chuck the bat at the pitcher. I've always wondered why that doesn't get busted out more.
I mean, you are carrying a weapon on you at every at bat.
Yeah,
right?
like I've only seen a couple videos ever where the player with the bat just starts mashing away at like, remember the video, this is from several years ago, where the hitter just started blasting the catcher.
Mm-hmm.
That guy like probably got arrested and sent to jail. Like, that's not good. But it's amazing that we haven't seen more of it. I'm interested that we haven't seen the bat throw. Here comes the bat throw. It's an underutilized move for sure. So we'll see what happens with Victor Robles. I don't know how suspensions work when you're on rehab. Kind of weird. Can he be suspended from the PCL and then not suspended for Major League Baseball? I don't understand. I don't know how it works.
That's a good question. Hey, I'm here on a rehab assignment. There's no rules.
Yeah, okay, suspended for minor league baseball. I'll just go to the major leagues.
Yeah.
Maybe baseball suspends him entirely. I don't know. The Mariners probably are like, okay, you got to sit down for a couple of days, bud. Sorry.
Till the heat dies down. Take number 3. The Royals should shut down Cole Reagan.
What a take by the writers, because it's very interesting.
Good work, writers.
Good topic by the writers. So the Royals are in a fascinating spot. They've won 4 games in a row.
Highest in the sport.
I believe, yes. I learned that this morning. Tied for highest in the sport. If you have another nice week here, they beat Texas last night, and they're right next to them in the standings. Let's say you sweep them, and then you're at 6 in a row, and then you get Detroit this weekend, and then you're not catching probably Detroit at this point. But if you finish out this month strong, then you decide where you're at in terms of urgency. I don't need them to like super push it, but play good baseball for a couple weeks, see where that gets you. He'll probably go out on rehab pretty soon, and then by the time he's ready, you'll have your decision kind of made for you if you want to really go for it or not. Or maybe the Royals are just thinking, yeah, we're just going to be really, really careful with them because we don't think we're going to win the World Series, But I think if you have a chance to make the playoffs, then you have a chance to make the playoffs. And that's good for your fan base and the bottom line and all that
you'd
stuff.
be a damn fool not to go for it.
Yeah,
right?
but like...
Not at the cost of next year, obviously.
It's weird because you still, like, there's some teams in between. Cleveland's there. You got to deal with them. The Yankees. I mean, you're 3.5 out.
That's correct.
3.5 out. Like, it's absolutely gettable.
You don't really have the teams to jump that you did 2 weeks ago.
But that's only because you're past Texas by a half a game, right?
Well,
I guess they beat them last night, so they're 4.5 out now. Texas is.
Texas is 6 out now.
Who's the team above Texas?
Kansas City.
Oh, okay. So maybe you have created a little bit of distance now. I don't know. what a roller coaster of a baseball season this has been. I don't know if I like this team. I will say, any way you cut it, like, I'm kind of fine with how this goes. They're gonna probably go 500 plus or minus 5 games, and if they make the playoffs, then sick. If they don't, then I'm not gonna cry about it.
Here's a group of
They can't score runs.
Here's a group of fans that do care. They care deeply, and they also hate their baseball team.
Yes.
Just ask them. They will tell you. Take number 4 from the writers. The Cubs will not make the playoffs.
The Cubs are going to make the playoffs.
They have a
You would think
4-game lead of the
top wild card,
right?
Which I think they have 2.5 in between them and the second, and then 4 of the third.
Yeah.
So they're 4 games. They're 4 games clear of the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Milwaukee has steamrolled them and buried them.
Mm-hmm.
They've got astronomically hot. Okay. And this week there's 3. They play 2 today, right?
I believe that is correct.
Also,
yes.
why hasn't that game started if they're playing 2 today?
It starts at any minute.
Okay. Oh, is this live? Oh, this must be live.
Oh,
then.
yes, it is.
Okay,
started.
I kind of felt like it was yesterday.
No score, bottom of the first.
So they're playing 2 today and then 2 more. So it's a 5-game series. Is that right, Josh? Are we looking at it right now?
They play tomorrow 1 game.
Yeah, but they played yesterday, twice today, once tomorrow, once the next day.
Yes, and then Thursday.
So it's a 5-game series. So like a lot can happen in that period of time too, and they could just break your spirit. But like, you would think that the sky is falling. You would think that this is the worst team in baseball. Their offense has not been good lately. It was way good in the first half. Remember how everyone was talking about how like way over expectation they were in terms of their hitting? They were the best offense in baseball by like 40 miles in the first 2 months of the season. It was incredible. Everyone knew that they were overdoing it. Now, since the break, they've been basically the worst offense in baseball, but they're 500 since the break. They created themselves. This is how a baseball season works. So the Brewers have buried them in the division. It seems like they're in a free fall, but they're really not. I also don't see a real threat to knock them all the way out. The next team outside of the wild card is Cincinnati, I think. I think the Cubs are better.
Reds and Cardinals are the 2 outside looking in.
They've kind of gotten hot lately, like some young fire there. Like, I just don't see it. I think they are clearly the second best team in that division.
I get their frustration, but boy, I'm sick of hearing how bad they are.
Josh is sick of you, Cubs fans.
Sick of you Cubs fans.
My Cubbies. And then we go to Baseball Savant Corner.
My favorite corner.
Okay, so Baseball Savant added something incredible.
Whoa, what is this? I'm sorry, I don't mean to
Please
spoil
click on this link, Josh.
Okay.
Tell me where it takes you.
It takes me to a page, catcher stance leaderboard.
That's right, Josh.
What the hell is that?
So
who is looking at that every pitch?
It has become a topic of how catchers set up. Do they have both knees down as like they're in like a deep squat? Do they have the right knee down? Do they just have the left knee down? Or are they old school and they keep both knees up and they sit in a squat like a catcher has? So they've tracked this now back to 2020.
Whoa.
In 2020, 24% of catchers in the league only used at least one knee down, right? Basically, 75% of the league was in a traditional catcher squat.
Okay.
Now, in the year of our Lord 2025,
good year,
95% of the league is no longer in a traditional squat.
Whoa.
And so there's different, and you can see the differences year by year and how many pitches they've tracked. I mean, we're talking 700,000 pitches a year. Except for 2020, obviously, in 2021, which the data was, I guess, inconsistent or whatever they were doing that year. But it's just gone up and up and up. Basically,
did crouching cause COVID?
So
and they're like, I got to get out of this crouch.
It didn't have anything to do with COVID.
Oh, okay.
But you can see the changes that it makes in terms of framing and then in terms of blocking and throwing. And remember, we wondered about this on a baseball segment. I don't know. This is probably a month ago. Is there a tangible difference and what is it worth? And it turns out that the value of doing this, even though you're giving some up in the blocking category, you are gaining much more in both the framing and the throwing runners out category.
I mean, Connor, you tweeted this link out last night, if I remember.
I think it was this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
My sickos, you need to look at this. I mean,
it's absurd statistics.
It tracks right knee up, left knee down.
Yes. Yes. It's beautiful.
Anything you could wonder about how a catcher is doing his job.
How a catcher's squatting.
Yeah. It's right there.
I think one thing that this doesn't quantify still is how much impact it has on pitchers and their ability to freely pitch outside the zone, right? Like if you don't feel confident that your catcher is going to block a curveball in the dirt,
right?
Then how much are you going to throw it? What mental impact does that have on you? Like, I don't think it could track that, but I mean, the value of doing this seems to outweigh what you lose in the blocking category. So it's fascinating. Check it out. Baseball Savant, greatest website known to man, except for 1620thezone.com. Back after this with the polls, we'll tell you what to watch on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
Who's pitching tonight?
You Darvish, having a great year.
The Connor Happer Show.
I know about that guy.
On 1620 The Zone.
What a mess.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access
To the polls at Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. We always enjoy your votes on the polls. I think we had some yesterday afternoon, if I remember right. Are you cool with Bud? Or were you cool with Bud?
Were. Important distinction.
I was cool with Bud. I don't even know what that was about.
Gosh, it was a player.
Okay.
I don't remember. It was not
that
what it
Bud.
sounds like.
61% say, or 68% say yes. Do old fans like a big booty? That was somebody said something about J-Lo.
Yeah.
All right.
Old fans, they like that's what they know.
66% say yes. Do moms love Johnny Damon? Yeah.
I gotta think so. Yeah.
Only 63% say yes. Are NASCAR drivers good podcasters?
Matt was pretty adamant.
Hard for me to say. 72% say no. Will you be crying in February? Thank you, Nebrasketball Mike. No, I'll be in great shape in February. 63% say no. And are you too pants conscious? I am. Much too pants conscious to go down a slide now.
Yeah.
64% say no. Is Auburn the Marlins of college football?
Absolutely. I've never been more right about anything.
You got that. 74% say yes. And then one more. Do you oftentimes think of 1998 Tulane?
No.
72% say no.
Teresa has given us an answer on the Bud in question. You said you were cool with Bud Selig.
Oh, yeah, I was cool with Bud.
And
I like Bud.
Thank you, Teresa.
Screw you, Rob Manfred. What are we watching tonight?
We are watching baseball, Brewers and Cubs, first of two. Let's play two. Remember that?
Nice.
They're playing game one right now on MLB Network. Astros, Tigers, 6 o'clock tonight on TBS. Tarek Skubal on the bump for the Tigers. Guards, Diamondbacks, 8:40. It's your MLB TV free game of the day. And that same time on MLB Network, it is Giants, Padres out west. One note in baseball, Nick Castellanos plus 600 to homer tonight on the anniversary of the first time you learned of Nick Castellanos hitting a home run.
I knew about Nick Castellanos before that.
Well,
he was a member of the Tigers.
You're baseball pilled. Not everyone else is. It is elimination day in Williamsport. Quadruple header on ESPN. Japan versus Mexico. South Carolina versus Hawaii. Vancouver versus Aruba.
Hello.
And South Dakota versus Washington. Connor, you get 2 new episodes of The Kingdom tonight on ESPN. Episodes 3 and 4. Episode 3.
That's the Chiefs one.
That's the Chiefs one. In our Chiefs era. And episode 4, The Formula.
Oh, do you think Taylor Swift likes being so synonymous with Kansas City? Like, do you think that was a part of her well-meticulated and groomed plan?
I heard she's quoting Ichiro now.
Like, they claim her. They're like, she's ours.
That's
like, I don't think you did that.
No, you did. You didn't.
I love Kansas City, but I don't think that's yours.
They're putting Taylor Swift "I did that" stickers on stuff. And on Netflix, the 8-part docuseries on the Cowboys premieres. America's Team, The Gambler and His Cowboys. It offers the definitive story of the Dallas Cowboys and Jura Jones's impact on NFL history. And Connor, tonight at 9 o'clock on FS1, Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour.
Yes, NASCAR podcast. But on TV.
On TV. Podcasts can be on TV now.
Apparently they can.
Yeah.
Josh, thanks.
Thank you, Connor.
That is what we're watching tonight, and that is the show. If you miss anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The crossover is coming up next.